Hello everybody and welcome to another Stellaris video. Today we're going to be playing the United Nations of Earth and trying to beat the game with a very vanilla set of settings. So what we're going to do is going to reset to default and we're going to go ahead and go to Grand Admiral, no scaling, and turn on Iron Man mode. And the one change that I'm going to make here is we're going to force a crisis that isn't Satana since I hate dealing with it. And the other thing we're going to do is 1.0 technology, 1.0 tradition. We're not going to turn difficulty adjusted off, and instead we're just going to turn difficulty adjusted AI modifiers on so they scale even better as the game goes on, and see if we can still win Stellaris like this. I saw in a few comments that a lot of people seem to discredit games where you use different than vanilla settings, and I just want to say that by changing tech settings, and that kind of thing, you actually make the game not specifically, yeah, this is an insane spawn. We spawn next to Deneb as a Gaia world. That's really nice. And a size 23 Cirrus and Alpha Centauri. It is really nice, by the way, to get the kind of guarantees we're used to. I guess I'm going to hold off on taking Deneb just for probably like 20, 30 years, just to pretend we didn't get such a crazy spawn because it's a bit unbelievable. And we can go ahead and take that a little bit later. And of course, since we are playing United Nations of Earth, this is an okay-ish way to rush Unity, right? We are fanatic egalitarian, so unfortunately we don't have parliamentary system, but by going isolationist and going for a civilian economy, I think what we're going to try to do is, despite what it seems, I think it's probably worth going utopian. And of course, mercantile. I don't really know the plan for sustaining these consumer goods. Wasteful is going to hurt a lot compared to kind of a normal game plan with this build. So I want to turn Unity into trade, or trade into Unity, but then I won't really have a good solution for my consumer goods other than to just buy an absolute load of consumer goods. However, what we are going to do is we're probably not going to disable our base civilian industries, and instead we'll just start building trade on top of this. And working like that, we'll probably end up buying 80 to 90 consumer goods a month whilst trying to ascend, which will also be quite expensive. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge compared to what I'm used to ascend. But yeah, anyways, as I was saying earlier, a lot of people discredit builds where you play on easier settings. In a lot of ways, I wouldn't consider it easier. I would consider it faster. So if faster is easier than fair play, right? But if you think about it, the Grand Admiral AIs get all the benefits of lower tech costs and Unity costs, except they produce multiple times more resources than you as a base, right? So it's even easier for them to do what they need to do. The downside of them is they don't know how to properly Unity rush, and if they do ascend, they don't take the optimal Ascension pass, which makes your Ascension pass more efficient. So I would say lowering Unity costs does, in a lot of ways, make your playthrough significantly stronger compared to AIs, but tech costs don't really work the same way because the AI has to pay the same tech costs that you do, and they usually are even worse about managing empire size. I don't think I'll be able to get rid of the mixed industry. It is simply too expensive, I think, because of the wasteful trait. Yeah, it's just absolutely a brutal trait to start with. Definitely not great. I'm trying to think of other ways we can do a good Unity rush, and it would be to use trade to sustain consumer goods and then building labs, administrative offices. Unfortunately, we are not spiritualists, so I think the administrative offices have too low of an effective efficiency to make rushing them worth it compared to just rushing trade and then using an absurd amount of trade to buy the consumer goods we need. I think I would legitimately prefer that. So that is probably what we're going to do. It does mean this consumer goods situations at times is going to look very, very rough, especially since we don't have seasonal dormancy or anything like that for all our civilians. However, we are just going to struggle through by buying an absolutely insane amount of consumer goods. I think that's probably the way to go here, and we are going to go marketplace of ideas. 67 Unity, like obviously this build is going to be literally nothing compared to a proper Unity rush, but hopefully we can still click Ascension by not long after year 20, which I would consider a success, and we will have good minerals from space as well, which is pretty blessed, because we're going to get at least 6 from the Cirrus, we're going to get at least 6 more, probably like 15 from Deneb. We're not going to take the pops on Deneb at the beginning because it's not normally something you would have access to if you didn't spawn right next to it with Sol. In case you guys don't know, Deneb is an amazing planet that has pre-FTL pops on it. You can tell by doing the pre-FTL pop trick, which is by clicking on your construction ship, right-clicking on a system, and if it says build observation post, you know that's a pre-FTL. Typically, they won't spawn in your guarantees, which are always Alpha Centauri and Sirius, and we even get an extra planet. Which is a pretty good run here. And we're obviously going to take trickle up economics. This should bring us up to close to 100 Unity. Oh, only 75. This is way worse than I thought. So we're going to go ahead and expand the council first. If we do a Unity-based agenda here, like if we go Evolving Society, this will expire long before we're able to really complete the 3 traditions we need to ascend. So yeah, we don't really want to do that. One thing I kind of wanted to mention, by the way, is whenever you're playing a significantly weaker than usual build, the thing that is the most different is Unity power is never that nerfed, but with tech, difficulty cost tech is really weak. So rushing tech is generally not the best way to play. Unity is only worse by the factor of scaling you have set. So if you use 1.0 text Unity, which I would guess is what 90% of players use, then your experience is only 25% different or something like that from 0.75 Unity or 1.25 Unity. However, difficulty adjusted tech cost is probably worth more than 2x tech difficulty in the late game, which means Unity is a much more powerful resource. Things like leader levels are significantly more important too, meaning I'm really going to want to go statecraft early on and really leverage leader levels. I'm also going to leverage the fact that we are United Nations of Earth, which means I can ditch these two suboptimal civics at year 10, which is going to be very, very helpful. And I think learning how to reform your government is something that will really change the games for a lot of people who like to play with weaker builds or learn how to play with random builds or any builds and then gradually reform them into a strong build. Of course, this doesn't mean you'll be able to keep up with another strong build by starting as a weak one, but it'll allow you to turn any build into one that can at least outscale any AI and eventually, take over fallen empires and that kind of thing. Also, starburst galaxies look very cool. I just kind of wanted to say that. And as you can tell, we're going to take our first commercial nexus here. I think I should play on fast. We get Cybrex too, which is amazing. Does that mean we get Cybrex artifacts? Or enough artifacts to activate an edict here? It's only our bureaucrats anyway. We're not going to have bureaucrats very, very soon. We don't get anything that can lower our consumer goods usage or increase our trade, which means we'll probably be looking for a new leader in a couple of years. Okay, let's pause for a second and just make sure we don't go under on consumer goods, because that is definitely a situation that is not looking fantastic right now. And I guess we'll just build city districts. We'll convert this over to a consumer goods only zone quite soon, and then just continue to build up trade. That's probably what I want to do here. And yeah, oops, what did I just do? As you can see, Deneb also crazy amount of minerals output there. I don't even need to build colonies, to be honest, until I'm closer to ascending. It's just going to increase my empire size. I could go for 1. Like, I could go for Sirius here, but I will need some consumer goods for that. And yeah, at this point, right, we're just going to consistently increase the amount we're buying to keep up with that. And yeah, it is a little bit annoying. Building a city district here should help us out a little bit, and then we can go ahead and convert this into a civilian-only zone, and then just build commercial nexuses, as it's going to be the fastest way to add more trading jobs, which is going to be the primary source of our Unity, although our Unity will never be particularly good with a trade-only Unity rush. I would consider trade-only Unity rushes to kind of be the weakest form of Unity rushes. Of course, we have the 15% from Beacon of Liberty, which is nice, and the minus 15% size from Empire size from Pops is actually very, very nice as well. However, we will be taking out Beacon of Liberty pretty soon onto the game. Oh, I just realized we can't even invade Deneb because we are a Xenophile. So that means once my factions form, I'm going to want to get rid of my Xenophile faction. I'll probably try to embrace spiritualism if I can get it. So I'm going to check my leaders right now. And it's very unlikely, but I might have a spiritualist leader. No, they're literally all egalitarian or Xenophile. If I could somehow get a spiritualist leader, that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, this is why I typically don't like to play Xenophile, even on trade builds, because if you hit pre-FTLs, now we can't take advantage of them. All we can do is build observation posts, which is quite interesting, I guess. So we're just going to have this planet right next to us until we get some events from it. Events which I'll probably fail to read and then accidentally click the wrong buttons from, because that is what I do. I click the wrong buttons very frequently, very often. We don't worry about it too much. And yeah, look, the energy credits are really good here. So what you can do if you want is just disable some of your basic worker jobs and just have them move into the civilian class, which at least produces some trade and some unity compared to these basic resources. You could sell them off as well. I don't particularly need to. We have tons of alloys. So the other thing we can do is we can use our alloys to run our basic economy by building star bases and turning them into space stations that produce resources. As we have a ton of extra alloys here, as we're only going to get rid of this alloys building now, and now we're only making 4, but that's kind of all we need, because we're only going to build our guaranteeds first, and then we'll start to add planets as we discover more. Also, I do believe the United Nations of Earth gets corvettes gets alloy ships as fleets, which is definitely nice, because even though bioships have their strong suits, I prefer using alloy ships because I just like the resources that they cost more in the late game. So yeah. Anyhow, statecraft as a second tradition is great. For our first perk, since our unity production is so weak, we're going to take one vision. It's kind of hard to get enough unity production without one vision, so, and I mean, it's pretty hard with it. We're still only at 90 unity at year 6. A good unity rush build would be 400 or 500 by now, and able to produce some other resources like our void dwellers build that we showed off yesterday. So, of course, there's tiers to it. But when you play a bad build, you don't need to focus so hard. And I would say playing a trade build is one of the best feeling things to do. After you ascend. I love playing trade builds because trade is the most efficient job in the game. What I mean by that is a single specialist as a trader can outproduce basically any other job in the ultra late game, especially with Cosmogenesis. I would be curious how difficult it is to complete Cosmogenesis. In a galaxy like this, I would probably have to use the Synaptic Lathe quite a bit to produce the volumes of tech needed. I'm kind of imagining, yeah, like the tech costs are going to be absolutely astronomical later on, and that's definitely going to be a bit of an interesting experience. Food gained. Yeah, I'm not usually fanatic egalitarian or xenophile, so I'm a bit not used to these choices. Let's just go ahead and click some buttons here. I don't really care which resources we're getting too much. What I do want to do, however, is on our guaranteed or on our star bases, just build some modules. Yeah, get some free basic resources from it. Very, very nice. We're up to 30 consumer goods now. We're going to buy even more, which looks ridiculous, right? This looks absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I think we're going to need it, right? We're just going to keep building commercial zones. We're just going to build more and more commercial forums, so we'll buy it while we can, right? It's going to be perfectly fine. And I think we could probably take our second guaranteed now. I don't want to go over 100 empire size. And since we're not doing like a particularly hard rush, like we don't need to be strong for a certain date like we would in multiplayer, we're just trying to outscale in this. I'm kind of wondering if like I could probably complete Cosmogenesis or one of the other crisis perks before the actual end date, which is probably definitely how I'm going to win this game, because I quite frankly don't want to wait for a year 2500 crisis. I don't think I've played a game to 2500 in probably 3 years. It just takes too long. Oh, this is a great mining planet. So we've identified a great mining planet. So what I like to do in games where I want to go wider is I'll leave the name of the system and then the planet. So obviously Alpha Centauri is too long, so I can do something like this. And then I know that this planet is an Alpha Centauri and it's a mining planet. And for example, I don't know what I want to do with this planet, probably alloys or tech, because it's a massive planet. Then we'll go Cirrus alloy or Cirrus tech, right? This way I know which system it's in and which resource it's designated to, it's actually quite helpful for organization later. And we get another great mining planet here, but I'd rather have rare resources for mining than plus 15%. And I could use this as like energy, for example. Energy slash food. Basically, yeah, energy slash food. Obviously, but all basic resource worlds you put one district in each, just to get the building slots in each, which was a nice tech. Oh, we're blocked in by Titawan here. Was this a PreFTL that already ascended? There's no guarantees, so this could also be like a size 30 ocean or something. Because I don't see any guarantees near that planet, so that's interesting. We have a very, very close neighbor, and not a lot of planets in this sector besides Deneb, which I guess that means we're going to need to try to take Deneb at some point. Let's just build the observation posts, or try to get out of Xenophile, right? Xenophile is... I know we're trade, right? But Spiritualist still provides more unity than Xenophile does. So I guess Xenophile at least has a better economy. This is a great leader. Should I hire them? I feel like I should. 350 unity. Really don't need Artisan. Really don't need Resilient either. Oh, those are not good traits. I was hoping for any generally good counselor traits for researchers, but we didn't hit. That's okay. Now that it is a couple years later, though, let's check for a good governor, and we miss again. And finally, we get some options here. So let's first try the level 2 and see if they roll anything good. They don't. So what we do in that case is just come here and immediately fire them. Pretty brutal, I know. And then we're going to go ahead and hire a good leader, which gives us trade, right? Because that's the build we're playing. More trade, more better. As you can see, even though we're making a decent amount of consumer goods through jobs, 600 jobs, still have plenty of minerals because we're not wasting anything on alloys. And at this point, you can even start building up your secondary planets, except what I would do is instead of building them in their end game designation purpose, just build city districts on them. Because that way, when we designate the planet, it'll immediately go to what it needs to do, and its production is not as valuable as just keeping the jobs on the capital at this point. Although we have 1,000 civilians left and a few workers, so until we get rid of those, it would be nice to build up this planet, but it'll happen very soon. And the area under the curve is not significant enough for me to worry about that, simply speaking. We can also just buy things like alloys that we need, since we're not producing any alloys naturally. If we want any alloys, we can just use our excess of trade to buy out some alloys, and I think we're going to even go... trade hubs are actually a way to produce even more unity from these stations, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. And also, yeah, 120 unity is genuinely so bad. At the same time, I completely forgot about the election. Let's see, did we get lucky? Let's see if we got lucky. We did not. So, yeah, normally if you're not yapping and you're paying attention, I often forget myself, as you just saw, is you can reform your government if any leader except the leader that started as your leader, you can reform your government. Obviously, that didn't happen for us since we weren't paying attention, but if you were, when this little election pop-up comes, you just want to support any leader other than your original, and you can reform out. Luckily, Beacon of Liberty is not the worst thing in the world, so I don't lose too much from not having merchant guilds or Death Cult or a better thing. Not that we could take Death Cult, right? We're not spiritualist. Which definitely makes the Unity Rush just a little bit worse. However, we are Xenophile, so at least we get a tiny bonus to trade, which is nice. You know, that never hurt nobody. Never hurt nobody. Yeah, it really is disappointing to see so few planets here. That means we're going to have to play at least a little bit tall, which sucks. Maybe we can kill this empire here with Titawan. Honestly, I haven't seen Titawan spawn for a long time. Did I say witches? Did I see witches? The witches are being investigated. Oh, it might be an enclave of some sort. I don't think I've seen this for an extremely long time. I don't know why. So I don't actually know what that system does or what's special about it. But I definitely want to find at least a couple more planets to feel comfortable. I know somewhere here we have a Mars, and maybe Alpha Centauri has that one world, that barren world, right? So. Yeah, like, that's obviously a possibility. I just hope that they're actually there. Yeah, bad traits again. What we are going to do is we're going to put them as our Minister of State to start getting them to level up, and hopefully they can roll more trade-focused traits or anything that boosts our Unity production, right? And we are up to 200 Unity now, so we're getting somewhere. I think probably building these city districts will get a pretty good balance on our consumer goods versus everything else as well, which is nice. And we got a tiny bit of physics here, and now we're going to go ahead and build the trade commercial nexus here, and just gradually push up our Unity just a little bit farther. 200 is of course not terrible, just not fantastic. And let's go ahead and expand the council as well. Yeah, these are pretty worthless counselors. Pop amenities usage and egalitarian ethics attraction. Wow, those are not useful traits. However, at least we get trade focus level 2, which is nice. Technology. I want to interfere with them and make them progress to like FTL as fast as possible, and then try to just annex them, right? Because I want that planet. That planet would be great. Monthly Unity, yes, I think it's time to take that now, as this will probably time up pretty good with our Ascension. And let's also, I think we already have the observation post, right? We can go do diplomacy, go to planet. Oh, we can't do any diplomacy, we can just watch. That makes sense. Yeah, just, ooh, that's amazing. Does education campaign work on this agenda, like this button? Does anyone know? I mean, I might as well click it anyway, right? Because it's free. So we'd get the 10% extra EXP from that if it does work. And we can go with Strategist. I think they're usually the best Admiral traits. Yeah, like we get things like Armada Logistician, which is absolutely great for late game. I wonder what Ascension we want to go this game as well. Because currently, I'm thinking I want to give late game Mutation a try. Because I just haven't tried it before. So Titawan is just a Federation builder. Okay. Is it just an Empire that just happened to spawn there? Is that literally what happened? Like, there's just an Empire there. It spawned in here, and it's like what is this planet? Like, I would love to get some intel on them. So let's improve relations here, and hopefully we get some more intel and see what they're up to. And there's another Empire up here. Wow, we spawned in a really somewhat crowded corner of the galaxy, which I'm not complaining about. It means it doesn't feel like we're playing single player. And they're kind of blocked behind me here, so they're not going to get access to the rest of the galaxy until I do, which is kind of funny. Yeah, anyhow, let's get a second science ship going here. Oh, I even have another leader that's idle, I think. Yeah, let's get the higher level leader and just start scanning out into the galaxy. Yeah, hopefully we find some dig sites or something like that. And hopefully we find a planet somewhere out here. 4 planets is not the end of the world. Because we can always go habitats and things like that. But I would prefer to go tall wherever possible. And I'm thinking, okay, how much consumer goods are we generating from this? We are generating 86 consumer goods from 800 jobs. That's actually relatively efficient, I have to say. So if we do this, we'll go negative 86 consumer goods, but we'll go plus a lot of trade. And I think that is worth it. Yeah, so this is, oh, did I name one of these mining? No, I named one of them tech. So I obviously need a planet to dedicate to alloys, and I don't want to do that with a size 12. I want a larger planet for alloys. So I guess what we'll do is just this very copium, very like anticlimactic kind of thing of just building a civilian industry on 2 planets and then buying the rest of my consumer goods. I think that kind of just about balances things out, so we'll find out, or we'll go bankrupt and crash horrifically and be very sad about it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But at least our Unity is finally picking up about 10 years into the game. Yes, absolutely crazy amount of time into the game. But hey, better late than never, right? And I've also been forgetting to activate the good old agenda here, education campaign. Cruelty. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, they could be a purifier. Hopefully not. Probably not, to be honest, but they're probably just belligerent or something. Wow, only 1 planet in this much space is definitely kind of rough as well. And we found the Marauders as well. Oh, they're all the way in the corner there. That's quite fun. That's a pretty funny spawn location. They are actually just a linear path. Um, Head of research, let's get one of those. Perfect. And yeah, I guess Deneb could be an alloy planet if we remember to click the right button when that comes up. We get a commercial pack already, which is nice. And that should give us enough intel to see what they're doing over here. Like what kind of spawn? It's just a size 20. Why don't they have guaranteed? What origin is this? Do I have enough intel to see the origin yet? Nope, that's not where you see that. Federation builders. Calamitous birth. Homeworld, massive crater, buried lithoids. It doesn't say you don't get guaranteed, does it? Maybe it does. Yeah, Calamitous Birth is definitely a origin I don't think I've either ever played or have only played once or twice. A size 11. These are some terrible planets. Like, I'd rather use a habitat for alloys than size 11. Actually, an Ecumenopolis size 11 planet probably still makes like 2,000 alloys. That's the crazy part, right? Because the buildings matter so much these days, especially with Fallen Empire buildings. And because I don't need a super amount of alloys, I totally could use a size 12 planet as an alloy planet, and I probably will do. See, we're only negative 37 consumer goods, which is much better than I thought as well. What do I want to go here? Executive Vigor falls off really hard in the late game, but is really useful for edicts. We have 115 edict fund, which is not the worst thing in the world. We have charismatic level 2 on our council, so that's probably enough edict fund so that I don't need that, and I can go directly for something like Tech Ascendancy, which is really nice actually. And yeah, we can just use these surplus of minerals to just continuously build up our planet, clear the unnecessary blockers, and start replacing some basic resource districts with additional other things. Anyhow, let's also remember to get these going now that we have extra alloys. I should have been doing this earlier, to be honest, but I'm a forgetful guy, so it is what it is. Where did our... I don't know where I put my science ship to, or did I accidentally get it caught and now it's dead. Whatever happened, or we got the stupid science ship event. Is that what happened? Is that what happened here? Ah, the asteroid, the classic asteroid. Why is this event not locked behind having a 1,000 power fleet already, or having a, I don't know, gravity snare or something available as a tech? Because, like, how can you realistically have 1,000 fleet without completely ruining your game plan? Anyhow, it is a aesthetic natural neural vaults. This must be one of my builds, right? That was just allowed to spawn, because this looks like a pretty human thing to take. Aesthetic and neural vaults. It looks like a very old hive build. Yeah, very cool, I guess. Hives are pretty aggressive when they're locked in like this, but at least there's one AI empire between me and them, so nothing to worry about there, I guess. Yeah, anyhow, as for consumer goods, let's just literally step up the buy to 80, as we don't need, like, to worry about our trade. Our trade is very good, so just buy more, right? And then favorite society on top of that, get some advisors going. Architectural interest and trade leader, perfect. That is an absolutely perfect leader right there. Love to see it. And yeah, as you can see, we're doing pretty well now. We don't need to keep up the search for that leader. They are gone. That is how that event works. It's not worth saving your leader. You know, maybe one day I have to see what you get as a reward to decide whether it's worth actually building 1,000 fleet to save your scientists, but I just can't imagine that it is. Tundra 15, Tundra 12. Yeah, a bit of a desperate situation for planets, but I will just make a copium. Alloy World, we'll get trade from consumer goods the entire game, I think. On our capital, one single planet definitely gets you to late game numbers for trade these days, especially with Fallen Empire buildings available, and some of the best ones, in my opinion, are trade, so nothing to worry about there. We can start to build up some other planets as well, right? As long as you have spare minerals, it does cost a little bit of energy upkeep to pre-build things, so I wouldn't do it too freely. However, you know, I think it's worth it. So we're just going to pre-build everywhere, even though we don't have the pops to fill it up. And since that we're probably going to get a very early trade federation here, we might even be able to make a trade fed with our direct neighbors here if we can roll the technology fast enough. And we'll definitely have a lot of chances to roll the technology once we start Bio Ascension, because that will pick up our biotech by quite a lot, and I'm going to look up what type of research Federation is so that we can get it faster through our research subsidy as well. Alright, after a quick search, I really wish the tech tree was part of the game. It is a statecraft tech, and it's locked behind colonial centralization, which I believe is New Worlds, unfortunately, but we're just going to take statecraft as a focus because it's generally good as well, because +1 civic is also under statecraft, so we're probably not going to be microing our techs too hard as well. I'm not going to be doing that for at least a good chunk of this game. It's relatively casually speaking. It shouldn't take more than a casual effort to win a game of Stellaris these days. So yeah, it is funny to see like overwhelming, superior, overwhelming. This is only going to get worse in the near future until we ascend and really start to get our planets going. And also, yeah, due to our general low planet count, this won't be amazing. Not as bad as this poor guy here with the one planet, but you know, sometimes it'd be what it'd be. Yeah, sometimes the game gives you calamitous birth instead of prosperous unification, and then you will be sad, right? Yeah, playing those builds like the worst build possible was definitely an experience as well. I do want to try something like that again. I don't know how to balance the difficulty because you just give yourself enough time and you'll eventually be good. Because the AIs just make decisions that aren't very good. Being stuck with all negative traits, though, is kind of crazy. So I really don't know how I would get out of that situation, but I'm sure it's possible somehow. Maybe you can just scale good enough with all negative traits and Fallen Empire technologies, and by spamming Fallen Empire buildings. But getting to Fallen Empire buildings like that is definitely a bit of a questionably achievable goal, right? So, would be interesting. I'd love to see it. Anyhow, also, since we are, of course, currently a somewhat trade-focused build, we can just spam out support districts, right? Because support districts provide an absolutely awesome amount of resources. And we're also at year 21, so we can finally reform our government again. Oh my god, we can't even go to oligarchic with fanatic egalitarian. Let's take a look at our factions, see if there's anything to work with here. There's no spiritualism, there's no... I don't want to go fanatic egalitarian by promoting this faction. So we're just going to do what we can do, and instead, do I want to keep Beacon of Liberty? No. I want to go Merchant Guilds here. That's for sure. Do I want to go Parliamentary? No, not Lake Game. Lake Game Parliamentary is just a bit suspicious, I would say. You know, honestly, Beacon of Liberty is not looking so bad, but since we're going to ascend soon anyway, I think we're literally just going to go with Meritocracy. And what we're going to do with it is we're going to use the +2 leader experience gain plus statecraft to hit the level 10 leaders as soon as possible, hopefully by like year 40 or 50, or even earlier than that if we are playing well. And yeah, if we put the principal instructor there, assign a decent level scientist to them, as I do want to get more scientists on my council than other types, just because, yeah, scientists super important for getting your tech speed up. Officials are super important for getting your trade efficiency up, and then having a Minister of Defense is just important for late game, where naval cap becomes one of the biggest factors. We're almost certainly, by the way, going to be going for reanimators if we can. I don't remember if reanimators is civic locked at all, so let's go ahead and check right now. It might be locked for fanatic or fanatic egalitarian, which means we'll definitely have to get out of it. Where are we? Reanimators. No, it is not. Perfect. Which that means we have a soldier job that actually produces valuable resources as well. And we do get some more planets here, and hopefully we're able to sneak through this little choke and grab at least a couple of those planets. Even the small ones can be decent alloy planets for us into the late game, or naval capacity, or whatever we need, to be honest. And yeah, we only have 2 more traditions to go as well. 450 Unity at year 22 is a hilariously low number by modern day Unity Rush standards. But hey, I mean, if it works, it works, you know? So yeah, let's continue to get rid of these agri districts as well. We are starting to run out of food. So I believe we have 1 more of these like bays that we can build. And then after that, I don't think we're buying. Oh no, we're buying 20. Oh, we're selling food. No wonder we have no food. Let's go ahead and stop selling it and start buying like 20 instead. Right? This is the nice thing about trade builds. Don't have a resource, just buy more. Right? Capitalism, baby. Was this supposed to be my energy world? I realized I'm not going to need energy. So this can be my alloy world. Or I can go super greedy and go double tech. Am I that greedy? I think I am. I think I got cut off from this a little bit, but I'd rather spend my influence going this way. I don't really care to close borders with these guys because I want them to like me as much as possible so that when it becomes available, we can form Federation. All I'd have to do is disable Wars of Philosophy. They are Federation builders, right? Which is super, super lucky. Otherwise, I'd have to self-fed with one of the planets here. If there's a planet that's 5 or more jumps from your capital, it's pretty not self-explanatory, but easy to self-fed. All you would have to do is create a new sector in that area and then release it, and then you can create a federation with yourself. And you release it through the menu over here, planets and sectors. Since we don't have another planet that's that far away yet, we can't do that, but yeah, that's just a little thing. Yeah, one of the most important mechanics in the game. Just like reforming your government, right? Which we took 10 years longer to do it than would normally be the case. But once it's done, right, it's still super, super efficient to have done so. So I would definitely consider that. And oh, I forgot we're not even working any basic resource workers. Yeah, we have traders, enforcers, because I'm too lazy to micro this or set up planetary automation. Planetary automation doesn't manage those things as well as they did in the past for whatever reason. So yeah, we don't worry about it too much. And we can finally also start biomorphosis. And we're going to be trying mutation, right? So we're going to start with cloning, however, because cloning gives way more pops in the early game. And yeah, I think it'll definitely help us quite a bit. So let's delete a couple of these. And let's build a genomic research facility. I think I want to build a medical center anywhere because I'm not going to be changing these commercial nexuses out. So I can leave those there for a while. Genomic research facility, medical center. I think you guys are going to see the pattern here. Genomic research facility, medical center, genomic research facility, medical center. And now it's just about waiting out our situation timer, right? And we get to activate this. I think we go departmental efficiency here and just really start pumping out the leader EXP. Try to level up all 99% council legitimacy is insane, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen that this early on in the game. 99.9% council legitimacy. Maybe there's something to this fanatic egalitarian stuff that's actually pretty good, because that is going to make my agendas absolutely fly through. We are going to be like steamrolling through these. And I really want to federate. What do we take here? 6,000 unity is amazing. These we lament their struggle. I don't think I can take. I can't turn away 6,000 unity. 6,000 unity is a pretty good amount. That's 20 months. That's going to speed up our ascension by 20 years, basically. And I think we're probably just over 100 empire size right now. Yeah, 4%, which means to complete our 4th tradition tree, we'll probably need like 70,000 unity. I don't know. We grieve their loss. I have no idea which of these is better. I'm not going to be bothered to look it up. I don't think it's that important, to be honest, but they're definitely going through some turmoil right now. I wonder what's going on. Poor old Dead Amp here. Hopeless Endeavor. Dissenting Voices. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like we're just going to get this modifier anyway. Let's just click the other option and see what happens. Maybe it gets worse, maybe it gets better. I don't really know. I'm too lazy to read. If I was bothered to read, I'd probably read some books or something and actually become smarter. But instead, we do other things. And we lost our science chip finally, which is expected. Yeah, more awareness. I actually want more awareness, right? And if we take a look at this, we're right up to 9 pop growth, and that's why I do really like genomic researchers these days, because that's awesome, right? +3 growth on our colony. An efficient use of cloning. Yeah, backup clone trait is great. We get 1 negative extra trait. Who cares? Not a huge deal. We get mineral subsidies as well. That will help us post Ascension. And at this point, I'm just kind of hoping that our society tech can carry us through. How's our society tech looking? Not great, to be honest. Envoy, available envoys +0.5. How do we have half an envoy, guys? Do we cut him in half, or like is he just like, I don't know? That's that's a bit funny. Here, yeah, we're gonna prioritize genomic researchers. Ooh, if I enable resettlement, my 99.9% approval is gonna go away. But alas, it is worth it. It is worth it. Just fill up the genomic researcher jobs immediately. We need the society tech, and more importantly, we need that extra pop growth. It's only 3, but hey, that's still pretty good. Yeah, we get an industrialist. This time we have to skip advisor because they're going to be the governor of our capital sector for quite some while. So yeah, we'll go ahead and keep that at least. And yeah, we're down to negative 44 consumer goods. So basically, this becomes a game of cat and mouse now, where I try not to run out of consumer goods, right? Any percent, like, you know, we're going to buy a ridiculous 110 consumer goods, let's say. We can stop buying alloys even, don't need to buy any more of that. We do need to buy more energy, unfortunately. Let's buy like 80 energy, and we just bleed our trade in order to try to sustain our empire, which is a little bit rough, but hey, it's all good, because what we're going to do is, as soon as we have the required amount of unity to comfortably ascend, as soon as the situation is done, say 70,000 seems pretty safe, 60,000 if you're a bit of a risk taker, as if your empire size continues to go up, which it is, it gets more and more expensive to finish the tradition tree, and I'm too lazy to do any exact maths. So instead we're just going to bleed other resources for now, and once we get a better amount of them, we can kind of decide what to do, and yeah, using a size 12, a whopping size 12, as our ally world definitely is going to feel a little bit funny, but it's what we're going to do, so it's what we're going to do. If you still want to build up your planets during this time, just build city districts, right? You don't need more city districts. Another hive. Let's see, they're not too far. I think we're going to go mutation now. Yeah, we're just going to mutation. I don't know if I want to take purity as one of these options. I don't know why. The example of mutation I saw played was cloning, mutation, cloning in that order. So I'm just going to follow them blindly because I am not a mutation expert myself. If you know a better order for mutation, please let me know in the comments and let me know why. As, yeah, I definitely think I haven't explored mutation a fair amount so far. It does kind of suck to be almost sandwiched between two hives. What do we got here? A Chosen Many and a Zodiac Nexus. Those are definitely two civics which I do not see very often. Oh, and look at that. We get mutagenic habitability now, so... Oh no, it's because we got a migration treaty. I didn't realize that. Do I want to introduce another pop species into my empire? Not really, and it does suck that we won't be using the crystal reef on this planet, because having a good amount of early game crystals is definitely nice, and yet we're just going to burn that planet for alloys instead. Which kind of sucks a little bit, and this is what I mean, it also sucks to free energy credits to focus so heavily on other things, but we're just going to do it, right? It's fine. It's fine. We say everything's fine, but it's not really fine. You have to pretend like you need the Fed tech, but you don't have the Fed tech, and it's kind of sad because you only have 127 society tech at year 30 because you've just been ascending. Yeah, hopefully we ascend a little faster. I do want to use Deneb though too. What are we going to put down Deneb? Oh, I forgot we needed to take gene tailoring as well, so that's another expensive society tech where I need to get through. I think what I'm going to do here is literally designate one of these planets to society, right? There's only a little trickle of jobs that are actually going to go to society jobs on this planet, but our pop growth is not 0, right? It's actually considerable thanks to taking cloning as the first flexible tradition, which is definitely different from when I take mutation first and get mutagenic habitability. I love mutagenic habitability, by the way, but it is low on pops, right? You do have pop issues in the early game where we're not going to have those pop issues here. And why is this guy not having orders? Hello? Why? Huh? I am United Nations of Earth. Why can't I? Oh, there's a block there. Okay, we'll set this to passive, and then you can go through the block. This is why the tooltips for this game need improvement, right? Like, I, as a player with hundreds of hours, since I didn't see this, did not realize why I couldn't go through. And what is this? Some Cothaloid or something? Little turtle-looking guy? Who knows? I don't really worry about that. Did I accidentally forget to pay out the raiders? And I'm about to get raided? I don't know. We'll find out soon. And oh yeah, our council's leveling up fast as well. Yeah, I find that the pop-up spam is really bad. I one day need to look at the notification settings and figure out a way to better manage the pop-up spam because it is definitely hard. It is very, very hard. Especially for newer players, you don't know which pop-ups are important and which are about to destroy your empire. And as a player with hundreds of hours, thousands of hours probably, more accurately speaking, right? I don't sometimes know whether a pop-up is about to destroy my empire or not because simply speaking, if I don't see it every day, I don't read it. Like, when's the last time I saw this message? Ladders to heaven. I don't know which option will give the better like result. Like, I do want energy, I do want society, so we'll click that, but I don't know if it gives a better outcome or not. And there's a lot of this kind of situation that happens in Stellaris these days, where I would say you just kind of have to blindly click options without knowing what they do, and that is not really my playstyle. Okay, and I think this consumer goods is unsustainable now. So instead of worrying about our Unity, we're just gonna sack, and because we need to fix this. So we're gonna go immediately to a trade policy of consumer benefits and militarized economy, because now we don't need any of those civilian industries. We can delete all of them, and the next consumer goods job we build will be alloys, or the next industrial job, right? Because look at the consumer goods now. We don't need to buy 110 of those anymore, which means we're gonna have an insane trade excess as well, which we can use to buy a good amount of other resources like alloys. Don't want to break the bank on that, but as you can see, we're making an insane amount. And since this is so much more than we can realistically spend, we can also just dump pops onto other planets now. Like this planet, fill up all the jobs, right? This will cost us Unity, but we have decent Unity, thanks to being Fanatic Egalitarian and having factions, basically. So that's a decent baseline amount of Unity. We'll probably end up producing at least 10,000 Unity before this situation finishes just by existing, which will probably get us to like 65,000 line. And we'll also be able to find trade fed much faster by focusing on society tech, right? So that's probably a good idea. Let's turn these into other tech sources so we can get more and more tech going. As you can see, I've also forgotten to move any amount of pops here to even fill out the genomic researcher jobs, which is definitely not an advisable thing to do. So let's fill out the genomic researchers and get some real pop assembly going on this planet as well. And yeah, at this point, I think I want to relocate enough pops onto this planet, literally just to get the capital building, because the capital building will be a decent source of Unity. And you guys could probably tell that I'm not exactly lacking in consumer goods anymore, which is the main purpose of our trade workers for now, and to also provide us with enough like trade to buy out our energy, because I don't want to work any energy jobs because I'll get rid of them soon after. Xenobiological lab will be great. An extra charismatic leader will also be great. We can probably turn on farming subsidies and then mineral subsidies when we get access to that. And I think this is basically where I expect this build to start kind of spiraling up and up and up, and start to get some of those nice feedback loops that will make us scale really, really well. It does suck that we're surround sounded by this guy, but they're still only overwhelming despite being a Grand Admiral no scaling, which is pretty good. They only have one planet, right? So obviously it's like not an insane thing to say, oh, I have only inferior to a Grand Admiral no scaling AI, but it's honestly not bad. And I don't think it'll take too long for us to outscale these hives after we ascend as well, because Ascension, man, it's just so powerful. And the AIs don't know how to properly abuse it, so we get to instead and have a great time. I don't think I have found automation buildings yet, so can't exploit that yet. Wow, those are some great options here. We're going to go with society tech. Why not? Ooh, genome mapping. Let's go ahead and take that as soon as we can get it as well. It's so weird getting the text out of order, thanks to the way that the tech tree works, or the Ascension works, that you can skip parts of the tech tree is definitely pretty interesting. And we're just going to continue to migrate humans off Earth onto other planets that we've been building up for a while. Another reason why this is so important, right, is As you had seen before, or as you might know, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but your pop growth speed doesn't reach its maximum amount until you have like at least 3,000-ish pops on a planet. Wow, these are terrible options. I'd much rather give energy, but it's expensive, and I definitely don't want to fight them yet. Let's just give minerals. We have some spare. Finally, colonial centralization. I don't know what the other options are. They were definitely good, but when you see colonial centralization, guys, don't skip it. It unlocks most of the important tech in the game. I think on this egalitarian empires, unity, I don't really want authority and ethics attraction. I wanted to build an agriculture district on our one basic resource planet, but I don't have an agriculture district, which sucks. So we'll just do the very expensive trade for everything route. That's probably what we'll do. Yeah, we're up to a good amount of tech now, almost 400. Mostly society, right? Because I'm trying to find the trade fed that will cover our energy, and then we can just go absolutely crazy with a double tech planet. And wow, another PreFTL while we're Xenophile on the size 15 as well. Well, luckily we went for the other one, so we'll just grab these two size 11s up. I don't know what they'll be for. Probably nav cap, right? We literally might need two nav cap planets with size 11s, so yeah, that's fine. To get the xenobiological lab on this planet as well, and then we're kind of missing some jobs now, right? But just move more specialists, buy more energy, move more specialists. It is what it is. There's a lot of specialist job openings on this planet too. Let's go ahead and just move some more over, and yeah, as you can see, we're still not struggling with trade related resources, and we're already up to 500 tech before even ascending. And do we take cloning again? So one thing I've never understood about this biomorphosis situation is by clicking this button, am I going to get another 1+1 monthly organic pop growth per 100 genomic researchers? Or am I going to get the amenities, the second line? Or am I going to add both those traits to what I already have? Or are all the traits listed here everything that I'm going to get at the end of the day? I actually do not know. Otherwise, I might go purity here, but I've just seen people do this, so I'm just going to try it out. And okay, before I unpause, let's take a look at our pop growth on one of these planets, where the pop number has not significantly changed, hopefully. I have relocated a bunch of pops off this, so the number is going to change, which is annoying. And yeah, that definitely did not increase our pop, so it was probably amenities then, right? It's probably the second line that was added, if anything. So yeah, good to know, I guess. Maybe I should have taken purity as the second option there. Either way, it's not a huge deal. It's not a very big bonus, especially compared to when we get Fallen Empire stuff later on. It's going to be completely outrun in terms of importance. So yeah, at this point, now we're kind of just home free to start researching whatever techs we want. We're going to start to fly through the tech tree pretty fast, even though we don't have the best tech worlds. But since we did pre-build them a little bit, right, we're going to immediately start to see the benefits of that pre-building, which is nice. And get the mining subsidies as well. I think our society role missed federations, so I think we're pretty likely to get it again soon. And, ooh, asteroid approaching Deneb. Let's go ahead and destroy that. I don't know if 2 Corvettes is enough. I don't know where my other Corvette went, to be honest. Not a huge deal. Good. Oh, I should have gone for the one that increases the... Yeah, I need a new faction, right? I need a spiritualist faction, so I wish I'd selected the other option there. I don't want an authoritarian faction, though, to be clear. I want a spiritualist faction. And, oh my god, looks like we're being contested for this planet. We have literally 0 influence. That's a skill issue, though, because what I should be on is, at this point, I should be on Mercantile. Right? That'll help my trade out, and also we won't have negative 16,000 influence, which is a bit of a skill issue. Ooh, are they going to help us with something, or let the sun swallow it? How close am I to federating? Federation. Negative 35 acceptance. They're actually becoming out of range. Opinion plus 28. Let's just assign more envoys, I guess. I we might have to open diplomacy. I don't want to sacrifice another planet here. I don't have that many, and I don't like going on habitats when I'm not specifically Void Dweller. But maybe we can get enough favor as well without without taking the Federation tree. But taking the Federation tree would be funny as well. So, like in a real playthrough where I'm trying to just like showcase playing a weaker build, but still a good one. Like how am I gonna play it? And then all I do is I just take diplomacy, which might be one of the worst trees in the entire game, especially in multiplayer. But I guess it's not that bad in single player. Just to make the AIs bend to your will is something that feels nice. So, hey, might as well take advantage of that, right? And what do we get here from the numismatic order? Show us your wares. Trade. Yeah, that's a deal. I don't know if was that a building I should have read. Oh, Form Federation. There we go. I mean, I expected that. Automation building as well. I don't even think we'll need it with the amount of pops we have, but let's see if it was a building or maybe it was just an effect. It might have just been an effect on one of these planets. Or maybe it was something else. I don't know. This is why you read. This is why you read. Anyways, let's step up the food buy. We're going to be buying food for a while. I don't want to work any food jobs. At least for... Oh, new worlds. Perfect. Oh, actually, I have all the new worlds, but I guess terraforming is nice, so might as well. And we're going to take mutation here. And... I don't think Divergence Directive is that good, but... just take it anyway. And then what we're going to do is what I love to do with my species templates. And first, obviously, let's fill out the tradition tree before we do anything. Monthly pop growth per genomic researcher +1. Amazing. Medical building efficiency. That's from mutation. That's amazing. Biochemical composure. And I think I probably should have taken this side of the tree first because, yeah, we're not going to be able to afford that. 44 months. That is problematic. I should have taken this side of the tree first instead of backup cloning. That was a mistake. That's okay. We're just going to delay ourselves by almost a year. Okay, when you put it that way, that sounds a lot worse. But maybe we can find a source of unity through an anomaly or something else. So where's our science ship? Somehow gone again. Okay, let's build a couple more science ships and start researching some of these anomalies. And maybe we can get something through that. Or other means. Or we could just wait 44 months, you know. That's probably not that bad. We have 2 picks for now. Anything I really want to put on in particular? No, not really. Yeah, I guess the plan is just to wait here. Unfortunate, I definitely messed that up. My apologies. Although it's my build, so I don't know why I'm apologizing. I like apologizing for stuff, apparently. Resettling the specialist takes unity as well, so I don't. It's not a significant amount of unity. Let's just move some pops. Upgrading the capital buildings will also be a nice smaller source of unity. Do I want this leader? Scientist, explorer, survey speed, anomaly discovery chance. They don't have like anomaly speed, so honestly not that interested because all I really want to do here is investigate anomalies, archaeology sites, and special research projects. And we're going to assign the other leader to the same 3 things, and hopefully we get a unity event from one of them. And that will let us not suffer in sadness for the next little bit. Oh, we're at 15,000 minerals, and we can't do anything about that. That's crazy. Okay, what are we going to do about that? We're going to just replace a couple of these hydroponics with resource silos, right? Yeah, I think it's completely worth to have enough resource silos to store up a good amount of minerals because building on command can be a little bit annoying sometimes. Is this planet fully developed? Oh wow, yeah, we just don't have any of the middle tier text to get rid of the blockers, of which there were a lot, by the way. So yeah, anyhow, let's just keep all these planets building. Like, this planet's probably been sitting here unbuilt for a while, which is a bit of a skill issue. You should... ooh, Proxima Centauri. There we go. That's a little bump in unity. Very, very nice. You never know when you get a nice anomaly like that. That was a really cheap anomaly as well. Amazing. I think we just got something else. Oh, we got gravity stairs finally. I skipped it because we got Moses at the same time. But yeah, let's research this as well. And just pray for another Unity event. This is something that you can be doing earlier in the game as well. Especially when I have high Unity. If I had done the Proxima Centauri event in the when I had high Unity, it would have given me even more because it gives an amount of Unity based on the amount of Unity you have. Or obviously, you can take Investor here. Investor is just an amazing trade. Obviously, it's being converted to consumer goods right now, but otherwise would be Unity. Oh, I forgot. If I can make the Federation. Oh, we're only minus 26 right now. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, War Philosophy, Defensive Wars to make them happy. And now this button shouldn't be grayed out. Oh, they don't want to trade Fed though. Oh no. I don't want a Galactic Union. That's just not worth it. Curious. So instead, we'll just continue improving our relations until hopefully we can trade Fed. And there we go. Finally, unnatural selection. And I've looked forward to this moment because I can finally create a template that I actually want to be. Because you can actually swap the phenotype, which is amazing. So I think you guys probably know where this is going. Let's use the good old cat girl trait, and we can rename ourselves cat girls as well because, you know, if I can be cat girls and that doesn't negatively affect the build in any way, why not? I mean, obviously these are elves, not cat girls, but the cat girl template that exists in the game is a little bit too much cat and not enough girls, so I can't call those cat girls. That's a little bit too sus. So yeah, we had to give them something else. Why can't I take these off? I don't have genotype regeneration yet, so okay, that's fine. Did I accidentally delete everything I did on my template? Alright, we'll restore this off camera. Alright, another thing I like is you can actually pick traits that you can't normally have, which is really nice. We can go something like brittle here. I don't think hollow bones will be great for us, but we only have a mineral planet, so yeah, losing that mineral efficiency is not a big deal. Let's go ahead and just take that. And do we have any other negative 3s here? I don't want that. Is there any other negative 3s available to us? Oh, rooted isn't available because we have nomadic. No, that's so sad. Okay, instead, what do we want? We want erudite. We want fertile. We want natural machinist. That's all our traits except one. Let's take a negative 2 here. I guess repugnant, and then we can take a +2. Thrifty. Ah, right. Exotic metabolism should be 1 for sure. So then we can even take a -1 trait. Not that I even think there's a -1 trait that's as good as repugnant. I guess solitary is not bad. So we can go solitary, and then what did I do? I don't need solitary and repugnant, and then the exotic gas trait. So where's the exotic gas trait? Boom. And of course, to run this template, we're going to need exotic gases. What do we do about that? Let's create another template, inorganic breath. Just pick a random trait, doesn't really matter. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this as a default for 1 month and have every other species integrate into our default subspecies here. So let's go ahead and set this. I've shown this off quite a few times now, so hopefully you guys are getting used to this. Then we're going to set the main species as our template, right? And let's wait for another month to pass because these updates only happen at the end of the month. And now all of a sudden we have an exotic gas income, which allows us to then buy exotic gases despite not having the technology. And since we have plus an insane amount of trade, just buy all the gases you need, and then you can let the game run. And since our auto-modding speed is going to be very, very fast as well, we're going to get a ton of these cat girls very, very soon, and our pops will be turning into these cat girls with all these positive traits, and our economy is going to start to blow up and go to the moon, which is really, really nice. And yeah, as soon as some of these are done, we're going to have good habitability on every planet too, since I believe I remember to take robust. No, I didn't take robust. What? Create template. I hate that you can't just select a thing and go to the negative traits, and instead you have to, oh my god, we can't even remove it, so we have to create a new template from one of these, or what's easier? Probably this. Can I create a template from this? Oh gosh. You know what? I realized it's fine. This species has exotic gases and adaptables, so we're going to hit a pretty decent base adaptability, and it had habitability anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, what is this? Provide aid. Screw it, let's provide aid. Let's see what happens. I don't really know what happens, to be honest. What am I doing here? Exotic gas capture. This is from farmers. I'm not working farmers, so it's not that useful. Let's take Starhold. Sure. And sublight speed. That's expensive. I want to take a cheaper one. They're all expensive with this tech cost, I see. Oh, we're negative on energy. Let's go ahead and fix that. I don't really want to cut scientific investment right now. We're also a bit short on food, so let's just buy 160 food. As dumb as that is. We'll eventually get a food planet once we can clear any of these blockers. Or, I guess we could put a food district on another planet and be sad about that. But I don't want to run more than one basic resource world. I don't think we'll need it, especially with a pretty good trade fed situation happening here pretty soon. We're also way overproducing society at this point, so let's turn this planet into a fully mixed planet. I think that will be a good idea. We'll honestly just add research labs and an automation district to this planet. Nothing that crazy. Actually, we don't want the automation district yet because we don't have the tech to. We don't have the energy to maintain it before the trade fed, right? We just need the trade fed. Let's see how we're looking over here now. Form Federation, Trade League, only -3. It seems like we can get here. So let's try something. Offer trade deal. What do we not need? Crystals. So transfer resources, crystals, and we're just going to give them enough to make this plus 100. And then let's see if that increases our attitude or something, just a little bit. Their opinion of us is plus 495. I actually have no idea what the cap is. We currently have excellent relations, so does that make the difference? Trade League, yes. Okay, we don't have to take it, thankfully. Let's call this the Cat Girl Foundation or something like that. And let's go ahead and trade fed it up. And now we won't have to buy energy anymore either, which is really nice, and just food should be purchasable. So, perfect. And we also find a lot of nice things. Where are these guys? Where is the button? Would you willing me to say as teacher, we wish to learn? I do wish to learn. I don't have enough energy credits. Artisan Troop, we're finding everything. They have a lot of first contacts. Wow. I know that I think they obviously get first contacts by cheating. Their ships haven't run into each other, that's for sure. Anyways, we have a lot of text now. You know what? I've never gone and finished the Galactic Archive chain, and since this build is going to take so long, let's do that, right? Like, it's going to take a while to outscale, so might as well milk it a little bit. Let's just keep upgrading our planets too. Automation building over here. Yeah, we can start spamming automation buildings too, right? Yeah. Honestly, we have so many pops. There's only a couple planets where we even need an automation building. This is one of them. So let's go ahead and prioritize that. Earth is also one of them. Let's go ahead and put an automation building down. And let's replace every district with a city. And our next tradition pick should be Ecumenopolis. Right, so we want to leave a perk for Ecumenopolis available, as if you don't get Ecumenopolises in the mid game, you stall out to get to late game really badly. So this tradition needs to be Ecumenopolis. Leave it empty until we find it. Arcology project here, anti-gravity engineering 2. What we should have done probably a little bit earlier is change this research focus over to industry, because industry gives you a higher chance of finding anti-gravity engineering. And at this point, we should be looking pretty good. I think we could probably even go down from fast now, because things are going to be changing pretty quickly throughout our empire. So yeah, we've had these two planets sitting here for a while. I should have colonized them, but since I'm not playing the best, they're not colonized yet. And we're just going to build a starbase over here, because we still haven't gotten rid of this, remarkably. However, we are going to start to get ready to get rid of it now. I think I want to build the archive. And then after the archive, we'll probably start building just a small fleet of probably terrible corvettes or something, just so we can get rid of things like pirates and whatever this is blocking us. It is very possible to claim systems through this, like you just need to go on passive, but it's just annoying anyway. So, we have open borders with our neighbors as well. And when can we go? Also, when do we get the chance to do like espionage or something, or diplomacy or whatever? Like, I want to increase awareness. How do I increase awareness? The toggle, provocative, toggle. Like, I actually, like, nobody interacts with these systems normally. At least I don't. Send an envoy. Okay. Send an envoy to a PreFTL. They have high awareness already. Reveal our presence. Can I do this? Oh. So do they become a part of our empire now? Or do they become a system over there? If they became a system, I messed up. I don't... Xenophile options? Egalitarian option? I don't know. Okay. They did not become a system, but they now know of us. What does that do? Stellar culture shock. Oh no, I made them stellar culture shocked. How do I take them? Planet Deneb. Dismiss. Control click. Notifications. Okay, well, I did not learn a lot from that, to be honest. Hopefully, I could probably just look this up. Alright, apparently it just takes a while. And I was supposed to bring my awareness up before revealing myself, but who cares? Who cares? They can get some stellar culture shock. Okay, you're aware of the galaxy now. We'll help you out through it. I don't know how long this will take, so we'll just stand in like tight and wait for that to happen. Oh my god, we need blocker tech so badly. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten. No, I have 700 society tech. That's a lot. Okay, see, this is the problem with having slowed down technology, in my opinion, is that technology has fallen behind everything else in this game. I have 2 planets dedicated to nothing but tech. 1.5k tech is not a bad amount of tech. It's not good. It's not bad. Yet, right? Very soon my alloys are going to outrun it. My population is already outrun it. Like, every job is filled. I'm just building jobs as fast as they can come into existence. And that is outscaling my ability to take advantage of anything, you know what I mean? Or to produce new ones. So, yeah, like, all we're really doing is just building at max speed, all jobs filled, and waiting. It's pretty sus. Like, that's not sus. I think it just takes the flavor out of the game because the tech tree is just lagging so far behind the other aspects of the game, and you're just bottlenecked on it, right? Like, we're just waiting for tech, which is fine, I guess, in a sense, if that's what you want to do, but Unity is not limited the same way tech is, and therefore it runs away so quickly. Like, our Unity production is, 600, which is not good for this era, but we're already ascended, so it's not like we're ascending slowly or anything like that. It's just that our other aspects of our empire are just so much stronger that, yeah, it's just the tech that's fallen behind. So, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I think difficulty adjusted technology off should be the default way to play the game, despite the fact that it speeds things up. I'm kind of curious. Sometimes this works, like, and it gives you something good. So let's roll the dice there. So yeah, because I just think it's kind of funny. So let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, what were we waiting for here again? Right, we're just waiting for the Cumulonimbus tech whenever that decides to come. And I guess it's time to start building out our terrible first fleet. This is obviously not the kind of technology you want when you're building your first fleet. Blue's laser picket corvettes. This is like a year 20 ship design, maybe. So we're going to call this the Sag class corvette because it is pretty Sag for year 47. But they're going to get better sooner rather than later. And I just want to clear out this thing. I probably could have gravity snared it if I'd taken gravity snares that one tech roll, but we missed the opportunity for that, so it is what it is. And I think we're just going to go straight for Harmony. We don't really need Supremacy yet. I could go Discovery. I could go Domination. I should probably start taking things that are good for Empire size, to be honest. Because I do want to reduce... Wait, what does Biodiverse Liberty even do? Automodding traits, 175% habitability, monthly unity 10%, resource speed 5%, faction resource output 2%. That's not bad, but it's not good. I think Catalytic Command, Elite Happiness, Specialist resource output 10%. Yeah, okay, I see why Catalytic Command is kind of seen as the best. Wow, we have way too many minerals. Like, our minerals are just full. I guess just replace one of these with more tech, because all I'm lacking right now. I don't even know what kind of tech. Probably engineering. Seems like we could use a little bit of extra engineering. Those are some crazy tech rolls right there. Do we have good arc furnace systems? Don't know. Just click it and find out. Too lazy to check. Yeah, this planet has nothing left to do. Like, we can't even clear any of the blockers. We don't have the techs. This planet has a lot of development left, so we can go ahead and spam click some of those. And... Did I send a colony ship here yet? I hope so. Oh, I didn't? Why not? Okay, well, now we have. This ship has made its way over there to colonize that. Not being able to invade planets is crazy. Let's take a look at our factions and see if there's any finagling we can do. Because finagling could be pretty helpful here. Let's also build this chemical plant. Ethics, governments, policies, factions. Materialists. 3%. Dude, I don't want to be materialist. I want to be spiritualist, if anything. How do I get... I don't interact with this enough. Secrecy is paramount. Society research gained. You know, I could use some society research. But yeah, the problem is that what is a good third civic now, right? I guess we just take reanimators. Call it a day. This will help our unity quite a bit as well, because we can go ahead and take the very, very, very awesome Master Necromancers and put a good scientist in there as well. Head of research, another scientist, and principal instructor, another scientist. Yes, we don't even have a minister of defense anymore. However, I think that's okay, because we're going to want to get this going as fast as possible, and we're going to really want to help accelerate us through our pathetic science phase, right? Because we haven't produced science throughout the game, and now we're a little bit behind, and this can probably help catch us up at least a little bit. Is this planet completely done as well? Wow, yeah. See, every planet is now maximum exploited, and we're just waiting for good old archaeology tech. We even have the minerals stashed, right? So it really won't be long after we hit the tech to getting the Ecumenopolis started. Year 50 is not good, but it's not bad. All right, I think I lost my train of thought a little bit because I was AFK for a little bit, but yeah, I guess what we're doing now is we're just continuing powering through our ascension, looking for the Ecumenopolis tech. We've already catered with our tech focus, I believe. Yeah, I think we're already focusing on industry, so it's just a matter of time at this point. Obviously, arc furnace is going to hold us back for a little bit because it's a relatively expensive tech. I have a little bit of a trick for when you're rolling for techs and you need a very specific one. What I would recommend is only take the cheapest categories of each tech that you need. That way, you're much more likely to find the ones that you actually want sooner. So, for example, we're looking for tech ascendancy, or not tech ascendancy, sorry. Anti-gravity engineering. We're only going to take the techs that either roll into anti-gravity engineering or the cheapest tech without a little blue lock icon, keeping our tech tree as locked down as possible. For example, researching a 25,000 tech antimatter reactor would be a really bad idea. Obviously, it's the wrong tech tree, right? If I was looking for a specific physics tech. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. Also, we're gonna start to have issues here with the speed of our planets. So I think what I probably want to do is I probably genuinely want to start putting planet ascension tiers in, as ascension tiers will help us quite a bit. Also, I guess I shouldn't lock my physics tech down either, because I should instead be doing cheaper techs and then looking for research boosting techs, because I still don't have any of those. And yeah, I gotta say, the tech tree holding back our progress by as much as it is a little bit surprising. It definitely is a more significant downside than I kind of had previously thought. So, kind of incredible, to be honest. It's really crazy to think that most players play on this setting, especially considering the fact that most players aren't going to be doing meta Unity Ascension rushes, which is going to make a playthrough like this much more difficult for them. And I think I want to take this dig site as well. I probably should. I've probably already missed a bunch of dig sites over in this area that I've kind of ignored, and it looks like they're building an arc furnace over there. How's our arc furnace sites ourselves? Soul is, of course, 20, which is nice. We can get another arc furnace going there, giving ourselves a little bit of extra alloys. Destroyers, powered exoskeletons. Yeah, this has a little blue lock icon, so maybe I should skip it. But I know everything else also unlocks other text, so we're just gonna we're just gonna go with it. And we've also put some autochthon monuments down. I still want to say autochthon. It's just wired into my brain because I pronounced it like that for years. But anyway, oh, curators. Okay, curators are nice. What we're going to do when you find curators is just go ahead, and what you're going to want to do is can you aid us in your research? And since we have tons of energy, we're going to pay for that. We're just going to bulk buy quite a bit of energy here, and then tell us about the mysteries of the universe. And you're just going to purchase all these options. You don't really care what they say. You just want to click these buttons. And kind of improve your relationship with them. And at some point, you should be able to recruit one of their scientists, and then you'll take their donation. And then once you can reform your council, you can get the curators onto your council, which will give you a very nice council spot that gives you extra tech speed. This is especially important in the early game, and there's a few other important enclaves too, right? I actually haven't messed with the Mind Wardens too much yet. Silence has been out for a couple of months yet. I still haven't really played anything that has significantly affected them that I know of. Maybe it's really good or really bad in some way, but another thing I'm going to want to do here is not the caravan. Okay, I want where's the trader one, right? The trade enclave, salvager enclave, marauder clan, nope. Trader enclave, there we go, the Rig and Commerce Exchange. And we're interested in strategic resources. We're just going to max this out. And basically, once we progress enough down that chain, we're going to get access to a leader that boosts trade in our council, which will be very good for late game as well. We can put that alongside our Merchant Guild's leader and really start to pop off in that department. And yeah, as you can tell at this point, right, our planets are just running out of space. We haven't gotten to take advantage of reanimators yet because our first planet that is going to be dedicated to reanimators is not quite ready yet, but at some point it will be. Yeah, I just have to keep remembering not to take any new ascensions. Oh, we should be taking new traditions though, right? I think we just go for harmony, or we can go for domination, just for reduction of empire size from pops. That could be useful because empire size is going to be a bigger frustration than normal because our tech speed is so low. So we might as well go with that. Oh, harmony also has empire size reduction from pops. Completely forgot about that when selecting this. So disruptors is a relatively cheap tech. At least this one is something that we're going to need to research at some point anyway. So might as well. I guess we're going to start researching blockers, right? Because blockers are cheap. They don't unlock any new techs. And we are really airballing on our engineering tech rolls, which is fine. We can just continue to push cheaper and cheaper techs out, and also, yeah, this heavy industry really needs to be upgraded. I should get this second district up and running as soon as possible because 80 alloys at year 52 is not really a respectable amount, even for a below average Unity rush. Military Academy. I don't think there's anything specific that we need to look for now in society, and Military Academy is like the only naval capacity efficiency boosting job in the game, or building in the game. I really wish there was more because I would love to make a soldier based build around reanimators and knights. But yeah, unfortunately that's not really a thing, so we just we work with what we got instead. Also, I finally looping back to this after a long time, but I think I can start ascending my planet as well, right? Because the planet ascensions give decent boosts, and this will be quite helpful overall. I still kind of want a way to get a spiritualist something in our empire, so I'm gonna encourage political thought here. I don't need capacity subsidies or mining subsidies, obviously. I should turn those off and kind of just hope that I get new factions. Yes, we could always try to find a spiritualist pop in the galaxy somewhere. Like, I should build an observation post here as well, right? Oh, these guys are hunter-gatherers. That's going to be forever until I can do anything with that. I guess I could embrace the Xenophile faction for now, and that would get rid of Fanatic Xenophile. I can just invade, right? Because I'm kind of tired of this. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and go to our factions. I believe if I embrace this faction, I should become a fanatic Xen. I just realized what I did. We don't talk about it. I for some reason like was thinking that I wanted to get out of I wanted to take an oligarchic government. I guess I can do that now at least in 16 years. Um, but yeah, I kind of forgot that I was trying to get out of Xenophile at all, and now I have to embrace a government twice in order to get out of Xenophile, which is definitely going to be funny. So, oops, we kind of messed ourselves up there. Not a huge deal. Um, yeah, I can't believe we're running out of consumer goods now and energy from trade, which is absolutely insane. And the way I'm going to deal with that is, of course, just disabling um, any of the automation buildings that we don't necessarily need. Okay, apparently we did need that one, so let's re-enable that. Let's try and find one that we don't really need. Do we need this? 275 civilians, 1.4 thousand civilians. So we don't need this one. So let's disable this building. Yeah, we still have plenty of jobs filled, and that should get our energy situation to be fine as well. Another airball on the engineering tech. So at this point, it's going to become a bit tedious. So I'm just going to start cutting until I find anti-gravity engineering. All right, finally. Ooh, old factory as well. We got the first part, weather control system. Yeah, year 55 is definitely a little late for this tech compared to what I'm used to. But it hasn't stopped us from making a decently strong empire. It's just we won't really have a way on these tiny planets to scale up our resources without the use of Ecumenopoli, so that is definitely going to be a priority here. We're going to need some Ecumenopoli. Also, we've finally taken over these couple little planets here. This size 15 still remains untakeable with our factions in a bad state. Yeah, I don't think we've gotten any new ones as well, so unless we do like some conquest or that kind of thing, it seems a little unlikely that we're going to get any significant new factions, especially spiritualists here. So we're just going to have to live with what we got and just feel bad about those two guaranteed planets that we would normally have that we can't get thanks to not being able to invade PreFTLs. Definitely an annoying feeling, but definitely also not that important on the grand scheme of things. Anyhow, time to build some necromancers as well, right? Start to build up that naval cap. Our naval cap is definitely one of our weaker aspects right now, although we are expanding the council, so we'll get that done sooner rather than later. And we also still have a few blockers declared before we can even build the Ecumenopoli in the first place. So let's go ahead and get this tech roll done and see what the next one is, and see if we'll be Ecumonopolizing. And we see habitats here. I don't really want to go heavy into habitats, so I'm just going to skip it and take something that we're going to need at some point anyway, which is destroyers. Alright, as we're kind of in the lull of mid-game, ooh, what a crazy set of techs, both orbital ring and anti-grav. This is sad because that means my next tech won't be orbital rings, which are absolutely amazing as a tech as well. But I just kind of want to do a quick update. First of all, we're going to swap over to Voidcraft now, as Voidcraft, the most important techs we have. Remaining orbital Voidcraft, our Voidcraft. I don't know what mega engineering is, but most of its requisites like battleships and citadels and other great techs like orbital rings are all in Voidcraft, so we're going to swap over to that. Also, in our physics, we finally researched research complexes, which is really nice because this can help gradually reduce our researcher upkeep and get this consumer goods situation under control until we get our trade Ecumenopolis online, and then once again accelerate. As you can see, our pop growth has kind of dipped down a bit, as most of these planets have a bit too many pops on them now compared to the planet size, and that slows down your pop growth just a little bit. So we're kind of having to deal with that. And yeah, this is why it's so important to get fast Ecumenopolis. If you start your Ecumenopolis significantly after this state, you're just going to have such a hard time because all your planets are going to be full, and then you're going to have nothing to do except for conquest. And while conquest is a fun and good way to expand your empire, I typically like to stick away from conquest as a way to scale empires simply because it's not always possible if you play in multiplayer. And even in single player, you might spawn behind a fallen empire. You might not want to... you might be friendly with all your neighboring empires, and you can't get cheap claims, right? There's a lot of things that can make it inconsistent. So internal scaling is one of the only consistent ways in my opinion, to power up empires. And as you can tell, my cruiser tech was absolutely awful because there's just no room to spare in terms of tech to find good alternate techs. And we are going to take the curator archivist here. Just to increase our tech speed even more, and we should have a decent tech speed from our leaders now, plus 70%, and we're only going to continue to increase this as we go. As you can see, we've even entered positive consumer goods. Yeah, funny. That's not going to last for too long because we're going to put in the research institutes on all of our planets here, and we're also negative on gases now, despite producing over 20. Which is crazy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bulk sell and then bulk buy to hold us off for a month or two. And wow, we even have the gas refinery here as well. So I guess it's just kind of cooked on exotic gases then. Let's see, what can we do? We're running into a lot of basic resource issues. So I guess what we need to do is we definitely need to get a farming zone on one of these planets down. Just to start naturally producing some food. So on one of these planetary defense planets, we're going to build an agriculture zone just to get like food production other than just buying 160, which we can't quite afford anymore. And we also need to buy more gases. So yeah, this is definitely a bit of a hassle right now. And yeah, we're going to have to work through this. I think another thing we're going to have to do is this needs to go as well, demolish. And ooh, we're lacking a few pops here, right? We have just not quite enough to max out all our traders, and we definitely don't want to be lacking traders. So we're going to move over some civilians from Cirrus and from our primary mining world here, because I'm sure there's a few extra miners and that kind of thing. And also, wait, why aren't we getting the correct species prioritization going? Oh wow, there's just a few that haven't assimilated over, so I guess we just need to... Yo, these are integrating already, so they're just slow or something. Or we might be assembling them. Hopefully we should be assembling just the cat girls, right? But I guess not, so that's fine, I guess. Yeah, let's get these research institutes down. As you know, I'm gonna work through these basic resource problems. This shouldn't be too bad. If anything gets really bad, I think I'll just convert one of these into a commercial world for now. Yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna do actually, because I haven't even built the necromancer yet, and so yeah, we'll just convert this to a temporary trade world and run some extra trade to get our consumer goods and energy under control. And it looks like our energy is already under control with that automation district off, so this should help save us a decent amount of trade. And we're still lacking on gases. Did I accidentally upgrade one of these buildings? No. I think we're just using that many gases from buildings. Yeah, this is why I hate the new rare resource system. The way I believe it should work is you should be able to double up on the building, and then it should have a base output. So first of all, I think the base out should be like 3, and then it should be like, I don't know, 0.1 per metallurgist. But if I want to have more gases than otherwise, I should be able to build 2 of these buildings, or 3. That way, if I need more gases than the other rare resources, that's something I can do, instead of just being kind of left to the wolves. And if your, resource usage doesn't quite balance out, then you won't be in such a hard, you won't be in for such a hard time, which is kind of what is happening here. Yeah, anyhow, where was that food district here? Because we're going to need to get that going as well. Buying the amount of food we're having is kind of slightly unsustainable when we have to buy this many consumer goods, which is just ridiculous. Like, I guess we can stop buying moats. So yeah, we're gonna work through this. All right, I am paused because the gas situation continues to be really bad. I guess if it is so bad, one thing I can do is I can just disable a couple of these. That will save some. Downgrading some of these will also save some. Or I could take the exotic gases trait off my pops, which I really don't want to do, because it's such a great trait. Like 0.125 exotic gas output for 25% habitability is pretty insane, but maybe I can put something else in its place. Oh no, I can't even remove traits because I don't even have that tech yet. But I'm trying to see if there's other. I think there's like biohabitability as a trait that exists somewhere. I don't remember exactly what gives access to it, but I don't see it. So I guess we could just go with robust. But it's not compatible with adaptive, and I can't take adaptive off. Ah, that's so annoying. How do I get it off this species template. So let's go ahead and create a template out of this one. Don't need budding. We have nomadic and bioadaptability here, but I can't get organic breath off, so that's also not a good option. But at least that would alleviate some of the gas issues. But I guess we can just purchase this many. We can just bulk sell some other resources that we're not currently using. Also, I just realized that we also have access to the very, very nice thing now of Arcology project. I should have probably noticed that. I don't know how long I've had it, but yeah, starting this ECU should help our basic economy out a lot. We are pushing out an insane amount of tech too. Double tech planet is definitely very greedy. But yeah, for now, what we can also do is, I think investing in these gas productors should get us close to positive. Oh shoot, I disabled the buy, so we're probably crazy positive on trade now. Let's put back the buy of like 45 is what we're gonna need. Jeez, 48, absolutely insane. And then let's see. Okay, so now we're positive. We're negative 400 trade, which is not good, but we're also negative on food. That's also a problem. Let's invest in farmers. We have tons of energy. Where is our tiny little farming zone? Food processing facilities, hydroponics. And this should honestly produce quite a bit of food. That's already producing 45. Then with farming subsidy, this should get very close to positive overall. Let's see, we're plus 33. So yeah, like we're 1 or 2 districts off being positive on food, which is nice. And we're slowly working through our gas problem. Oh my god, the amount of gases that this build is burning is just absolutely insane. Maybe I should have gone for double alloy planet. That would definitely solve our problem, but we're gonna go adaptability here and just take enhanced recycling to try to get this a little bit more under control, because this is currently really bad. And after we take that, hopefully it'll just become regular bad. Which is what we're going for. Yeah, there's just so many uses of gas across our empire, especially with our pops, that it's going to be a bit difficult to manage, maybe until we get like Ancient Refinery or something. But with this tech speed, I can only imagine how long that might take if we're unlucky. So anyhow, we're gonna stick with it. We're also gonna look for the correct text to get rid of some of these last blockers on our planets. And if I see genomic, like, oh god, what's it called, vocational editing, then that would be really nice too, because then I could finally get rid of I could finally do a final species portrait, which I really want to do. So yeah, anyways, I think we also researched orbital rings already. So yeah, with the orbital rings, we can also start just building rings around every planet, because orbital rings are really, really OP, and there is genuinely no reason why you wouldn't want to build an orbital ring around every single planet. So let's just go ahead and get started with that. We're going to need to train up a few new, no, not these ships, a few new construction ships, and we'll just do that off camera because it's a little tedious. Alright, I think we have a permanent solution here. So this will end up as our final basic resource planet, I think, because Fuming Bog, I think, is just too good of a trait to not take advantage of in our situation here. So this will be our final are we going to skip supremacy? Yeah, why not? Honestly, we're going to have a lot of naval cap through other methods. Yeah, it feels weird to skip supremacy, but I think that might be the play here. I'm still lacking the ability to accumulate some of these other planets. I think I can do this one, right? Or are we still missing... we're still missing wildlife removal. Yeah, it's just so crazy, like unusual to me, how slow the techs are coming in for this. But, oh no, our consumer goods are bouncing off the bottom now as well. A bit of a problem, but once this second district comes online for trade, I think that should fix our trade issues. Yeah, or consumer good issues, basically instantly. Okay, very nice. And this mineral planet here can kind of just be reworked at this point. And I'm just going to start converting these to cities. I think that's probably the thing to do. And this will give us replace our gas problem with a crystal problem, but it won't be as bad because our crystal usage is significantly lower. We're making contact with so many empires, by the way. Just spam enter to get through those. And yeah, this planet I'm currently using for trade, we can eventually convert this to a mineral planet as well. We're going to have a temporary lapse of minerals, but we can also get a few from like our arc furnace, and we can start purchasing some as well. And we can probably at this point close to turn off our entire food purchase, which is nice. and get the rest through trade. We even get, I think we have the moat harvesting here as well, or was this something else? No, it's the crystal forest, right? So this is the perfect basic resource planet, basically. And then I can turn this into the current mineral planet we have, just into other things like tech or naval cap, kind of up to us to decide. And now we're finally kind of home free to start researching military techs and start building that up so that we can get to #1 in galactic weight as well. Let's just select a random leader. Oh, that was our Fed leader. Oops. Let's go ahead and just hire a new one, I guess. And then we can have one in both. And yeah, I think very soon we should be... we're probably pretty weak right now in terms of... Where are we? Here we are, United Nations of Earth. We're not the strongest in the galactic community yet, but once we build a fleet, that's when it really starts to come online. And our fleet tech is finally okay. I would like to get better kinetics before I really build a fleet, though. Otherwise, we'll just end up replacing it right away, which is somewhat of a frustrating experience. And we can build the exotic gas capture here. And yeah, this will give us a ridiculous amount of exotic gases. So, nice. Alright, after getting our little gas extraction zone online, it has really saved our economy. Yeah, we finally have positive gases. We're only buying 28 now. This little area on our planet is producing just 12 gases, apparently, but I guess that combined with our industrial world being built up has helped a lot. And I just realized I completely forgot to do the orbital rings. Because I was distracted trying to fix the economy. So, this is sometimes why I don't say I'm a complete meta player anymore. I'm just a little forgetful. And yeah, you can definitely we're a little punished for that because orbital rings are extreme efficiency modifiers. They give base output for specific resources. And anybody familiar with Stellaris should know how amazingly powerful base resource output is as a modifier. It is probably the best one in the entire game, as percentage modifiers, while good, are extremely plentiful the way Stellaris is currently constructed. So yeah, I also don't know if the correct play here was to go for the gas extractor specialization. And then I guess that can be combined with the gas extractor wells to make it even more crazy efficient for extracting gas. I definitely will need more minerals than I could get from a crystal extraction zone. So we're going to go with the mineral extraction zone and then put the crystal plant on that. And then when we combine that with some other things, that should give us more than enough minerals for late game as well. Yeah, because the Fallen Empire buildings just give so many great efficiency boosts as well. That really shouldn't be too big of a problem. And we can combine that with a couple extra arc furnaces here if we have any decent. 13 is like acceptable. I believe I have a 12 down here. What's this over here? Yeah, I guess we could build a 12 arc furnace. That is not the end of the world. And we should just keep our arc furnace on Sol here upgrading as well so it can start to produce alloys. I've been forgetting to do that. But anyhow, we're still making pretty good progress now. Like, I feel like our tech speed is finally getting good. We're up to about 5,000 with three tech planets. Is obviously not great. But I've also taken so long to find the removal techs that it's going to take a while to EQ these things. And our EQ on our Earth is going to finish first by far, which is, I guess, nice. But with our tech EQs coming in considerably after that, we're going to be stuck with these many subpar efficiency tech EQs. I continue to not find kinetic artillery as well, but I have okay cruiser tech at this point. Like, let's get this up to date. Yeah, like this is like okay cruiser design, right? We get artillery computers. We actually have some semblance of speed and armor, right? So like this is a perfectly usable cruiser. I love that it's called Kitty Hawk as well. That is literally a coincidence with our like name choice, which is awesome. And we are the cat girls with the Kitty Hawk cruisers. I kid you not, I did not edit that. That was just the way it spawned in, which is amazing. But yeah, at this point, I would call this basically near home free. This is when, once you get your Ecumenopolises, it's when you start to just freely outscale the AI, which isn't able to prioritize things that are important, like Ecumenopolises, to the same extent that we are prioritizing them. And once they come online, I don't expect any AI to be able to catch back up to us. Also, One bunk bed deployment decision. I'm actually really. What is that? Bunk bed deployment plus 10% housing. Okay, that's funny. I know there's actually some good ones there, so I'm going to continue to do that. Empire size from districts minus 30. District cost minus 30. That's an insane tech. I guess you do get some cool things from PreFTL observation, but yeah, minus 30% district cost would go crazy in the early game. We're a little bit past that now, but I'm still taking that. Like that's amazing. And I guess we'll just go for Cosmogenesis level 3 here. But yeah, this will be an Ecumenopolis soon. We do have a good amount of purples, as I have a friend I've been introducing to Stellaris, and he comes from Civ, so he uses a lot of Civ names for a lot of different buildings and just makes things up for the ones that there's an icon, but he doesn't want to read the word for it. So when he first came into the game, he was like, "Oh, let's take a look at the resources." And he's like, "Oh, so we got energy, we got rubies, we got food, and we got purples." And I was like, "Okay." And yeah, I've kind of gotten used to calling them both purples and rubies now because I think it's kind of funny. So yeah, that's the reason why. I just realized this is a size 24 planet. It is absolutely insanely tall. Nice. I mean, it's always nice to get large planets, right? So I'm always happy about that. Yeah, this little size 11 planet here will be our only non-Ecumenopolis. And then once this Ecumenopolis is done, we won't need to worry about having a second trade world. One trade world will more than cover a single planet, and we can start to upgrade the rings, which are going to start finishing anytime now. So yeah, things are finally starting to look good, right? Finally. It has definitely been a while, but what do we get here? More strategic resource information, nice, and more leader upgrades, because we could definitely use that. All right, Earth, our first Ecumenopolis is done. First thing we're going to do, commercial megaplex. Second thing we're going to do, like these are all upgrade buildings that have been held off. I think we're researching, yeah, Galactic Commerce Hub. It literally just finished. What a good timing. And we can go ahead and build one of those as well. I think we actually want to build one of these on every planet because that market fee minus 5% is something that I do believe stacks. And it's just one building slot, and one building slot is not that expensive. You can spare a building slot on every planet. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and slide one of these things in. I believe we're probably pretty negative on crystals now, but we're going to see if we can recover from that before that becomes an issue. But yeah, reducing the market fee, if you reduce it enough, right, you can really trade things at abhorrent prices and still benefit quite a lot. So, of course, this is something that benefits with wide. I don't know if you can go negative with it, or if it doesn't even stack. I honestly don't know. But yeah, because I normally never play more than 10 planets. That's about the maximum that I enjoy managing. So if I ever need an empire that needs more than 10 planets, I go, why am I playing this? Let me do something else. So yeah, typically not my play style. But yeah, as you can see, even this tiny little bit of mining jobs is producing 20 crystals, so it's being upkept better than I thought, which is honestly quite nice. And once we get the orbital ring online, that would be great. And we can get the Giga Mall, and I believe, let's see, the orbital stock exchange means we can't have or galactic stock exchange. So there's actually a funny way to get around this, I believe, is we delete this, we build the orbital one first. Where to go? And then I don't believe that locks out you from building one on the planet. So now we can get both, I think. Yes, we can get two. Yeah, okay. Good to know that good old trick still works. We might be doing that on every future orbital ring we got. So we're going to have to redo a lot of the buildings, which will be a little bit annoying, but most of these planets don't even have orbital rings yet. Like, what? I think we just must have missed this planet when building rings. So let's get one over there. And yeah, we're definitely be lacking a little bit of influence or purples. So we're going to have to wait for that a little bit, or be more selective about which planets we upgrade. I think this is one that we want. So, wow, the internal market is expensive for minerals right now. I guess we should have voted for the galactic market. Oh, it's being voted for already. Let's go ahead and support that. Yeah, as we just collect more and more alloys, we should be slowly climbing up the leaderboards there as well. This orbital ring will come online soon and really boost our alloys up. And my ship tech is getting better and better. We're kind of focusing in on that now. And yeah, these late game techs are really expensive with the way the techs are balanced. But hey, that's what we that's what we're playing, so that's what we're going to deal with. And yeah, this planet is ready to become an Ecumenopolis as well. We're just kind of needing some minerals that are slightly less expensive, hopefully. And I guess I can start tearing down trade here, right, and replacing it with like minerals and or food, as we need the two resources respectively, as this planet should more than cover our trade needs now. We're also producing 3.9 thousand trade, which is ridiculous. We should probably set that to some like stable monthly buys, so we don't have to bulk buy as much as we continue on and just try to gradually Ecumenopolis every planet. That's kind of our goal now. Okay, it turns out the Galactic Stock Exchange trick does not work, unfortunately. It deletes the other one. So I lied. Yeah, I just guess I never realized that it deleted the one off the starbase automatically. I thought I had found a little tech there, but it turns out no. Yeah, just a little oopsie there. Alright, at this point in the game, we're just flying through text now. 7.2k tech is, of course, not that outwardly amazing. But, I mean, with the amount of tech speed we have, it's just genuinely not that bad. Like, I don't know how much tech speed do we have? 104% with no megastructures. This is genuinely quite decent. Our pops are leveling up okay. Like, this has not been min-max at all. I've been forgetting to do things like leave education campaign on, which is a pretty small but embarrassing lack of optimization. And I also haven't been really trying to pass the fastest agendas. Instead, I've been passing the ones that give the biggest bonuses. But in case you guys are unaware, if you want to level up your leaders as fast as possible, just take the agendas that have the half time. I don't think Biomorphosis gets access to very many when we have the traditions that we have, but like for example, the Biomorphosis thing, getting granular acclimation, 3 tech progress, 25%, it's just nice because it only takes 33 months. Oops, excuse me there. And that means every 33 months, we can more efficiently produce more pops, which is great. That's fantastic. Or not produce more pops. What am I saying? Produce more XP. My brain is really fried. Once again, I am recording at 1 a.m. Don't ask me why. I guess it's just kind of quiet around my house at this time, so it makes more sense to record now than when things are hectic and busy, and I'll likely to get interrupted. So, yeah. Anyhow, as you can see, we're also progressing down the crisis pretty well here. I don't even know, should I be going down Cybrex? I feel like I should be, right? This should be something I'm prioritizing, because that is, at the end of the day, a ring world. So, yeah, maybe we should be prioritizing that as well. I rarely ever prioritize Precursor, because precursors are just so rarely relevant. But I'm realizing now that, yeah, completing the precursor is probably decent scaling in this. So let's go ahead and try to get that precursor done. So I don't know where the event spawned. Here we are. So let's just go ahead and send this ship to manually go research it. And I'm going to try to speed run through that as well. Let's just go to fast here so that we are making a little bit better time. And I can just show you kind of what the gameplay loop is looking like right now. It's kind of check on planets, see if you have enough to click Ecumenopolis. We don't. And then when we finally do have enough to click Ecumenopolis, we'll go ahead and click it. Also, I've probably had this available for a few years now. We should probably build that. Step up our alloys even more and just pump out some cruisers. We don't really need the craziest amount of cruisers. I don't care about dealing with those guys still. We can let them be. But with a few fleets of this, first of all, we won't be overwhelmed by any of... I guess not. We'll still be overwhelmed by some of the Grand Admiral AI, but we're starting to outscale them in tech, which kind of just shows what I was saying earlier, where playing on harder difficulties with difficulty adjusted tech on, especially on Grand Admiral at least, doesn't particularly make the game harder. It makes it take longer. And I guess for some people, length equals difficulty, but you kind of have to play with the same level of precision at least to eventually outscale the Grand Admiral AI, which, yeah, it just, as I mentioned before, it just takes longer, right? It's not really the craziest thing. How long is the cooldown to this? Discover Precursor Insight. Longer than I'm hoping for. I guess, do I want to open the Alligate? I don't think so. I think we could just click some random buttons, get some artifacts. I don't even know what these are going to do. But yeah, since we have Archaeo Studies, right? All we have to do is probably replace one of these buildings with an archaeostudy building to get a lot of minor artifacts. So let's just replace this with the archaeostudy building, wherever that is. It's probably in research, isn't it? Why can I not replace this? Replace. Why is there no tech build? Can you only have one faculty of archaeostudies in your empire? Is that a thing? That is probably a thing. So we'll just swap this over to a regular research district as well. I don't really need the focus on engineering anymore because at this point, my engineering tech tree is probably nearly done. Like it's not done yet, but it's probably like more than halfway. Not when you consider the expensiveness of repeatables and some of the Fallen Empire techs that haven't come in yet because of our crisis level being inadequate. Now we should finally start to get them as well. How is our crisis level doing, by the way? Oh wow, we're barely making any progress towards 4. So yeah, this is when it starts to get really expensive to progress the crisis level. And how much unity do I have stored up? Holy, I had a lot of unity stored up there. But yeah, once again, let's look for the shortest one. I think these are all full length open markets. Yeah, these are literally all full length, so we'll just take the one with the biggest benefits, which, to be honest, is none of these. And the collecting market is finally formed way after it's relevant. Utopian Idealist, Elite Benefit. These are some terrible options here. Elite Pop resource output is pretty worthless. Robot upkeep is pretty worthless. Happiness is a nice stat, but we're going to have a lot of happiness anyway, but I might as well turn that on. Might as well have more. But yeah, at this point, yeah, the techs are flying through. We're getting some crisis points from every random tech we take, right? We get 70 crisis points, and this will help us eventually leave the galaxy, because I'm not waiting for the crisis to spawn on stock settings, right? It's just going to take way too long. We're going to try to leave the galaxy through our own means. And oh my gosh, I just realized this entire time I have still been on the size defocus of statecraft. I should have been on biology for a long time now, as yeah, we've gotten things like vocational editing way sooner, and now we can finally make a true endgame pop, which is nice because it's definitely been a while. We still don't have things like jump drives or even tachyon lances for our cruisers, or for our battleships, but like this planet is kind of ready to go, right? It's got everything ready. This thing is going to be in a Cumulonimbus soon, which will finally blow up our tech speed. It's all looking nice. So let me go ahead and work out some new pop templates, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys them and try to explain my thinking. Alright, so basically all I've done is I've just taken the template from before and tacked on vocational genomics. This gives us another set of auto-modding traits to pick from, and we're going to set this as the default. We still most importantly have the gas trait for habitability and erudite and fertile for just good traits in general, and this will give us auto-modding. I really wish I could take adaptive off. I still can't take it off because we're not purity or something like that, so there is some downside. But anyhow, let's go ahead and set this as the default. I've already done that, and very soon everything should be this pop. Oh, no. We've made one very important mistake. Much better. Cat girls? No. Cat girls. Cat girls. Yeah, let's accept this. And cat girls. Hell yeah. Now the Empire is complete. We got the perfected cat girls, fully mutated, and we're ready to go. Awesome. Alright, we got a Cumulonimbus finishing left and right just seconds after as well. It's all starting to look up, and I think the thing to do now is just spam some districts out, right? And this will give some more space for jobs, and we have a lot of civilians piling up on planets all over the place, and obviously the thing to do with that is just resettle the civilians onto the planets where you really need them, and start filling out as many jobs as possible. And if we even need, we can obviously put automation zones back, because we do have some spare energy. We have an immense amount of spare consumer goods now. That is obviously not an issue, so I think we should probably start buying energy. We'll probably be a little bit short on energy for a while in this game, until we kind of truly solve pops with Fallen Empire buildings, which once again is going to take a while. Well, we even hit Unity ambitions though, which is awesome. Oh, another precursor insight, and oh, finally mega engineering as well. So yeah, year 85, not even the latest mega engineering. This is definitely faster than like some 3.14 builds would usually get Mega Engineering, or around the same time, despite playing with easier tech settings, so that's nice. But I think what I want to do now, right, is finish our tradition tree. Awesome. And then we can go ahead and activate some of these edicts, with the most important of which being Architectural Renaissance, which we can't activate yet. But the other one is Will to Power. This will give us more than enough influence to turn everything into an Ecumenopolis that we haven't already, because I think we have a straggler planet or two. There's one. There's two. And then with the extra influence we get, we can finally max out our orbital rings as well, which we'll be doing off camera because it's just a little bit tedious. Yeah, late game is a lot of clicking on lower impact buttons per click, but clicking on a lot of them because you just have a lot of buttons to click, right? Like, it is what it is. In the meantime, like, what we're doing is, of course, a stacking crisis level. It is excruciatingly slow. Yeah, just the amount of advanced logic we're getting is not much, and I don't really feel like using the lathe. It turns out the lathe is not a great source anyway. The best thing you can do is research. In my opinion, like, the lathe gives you a decent amount, but it's a lot of micro. Like, I don't want to go take over a nearby empire. I'm pretty sure I'm strong enough at this point with 10,000 alloys, or 1,000 alloys per month. And the AI's questionable ship designs, I would not be surprised if it was not a big challenge. So, yeah. Like, look at how fast these techs are going through, by the way. Like, even with the extremely high-tech numbers now that we're looking at, it's not too bad. Alright, one thing we're going to boost the priority of a little bit is physics. In order to get cosmogenesis done faster, more physics is advisable, I would say. Because it gives you access to these really expensive cosmogenesis techs, and one of them are the weird, quirky physics ones. I forget what they're called. Let me go look it up quickly, or just look at it here. It is the implied infinity thesis. Yeah, they give 7,500 advanced logic, and once you start researching those, you really start to fly through cosmogenesis. So yeah, I'd highly recommend prioritizing most of your tech in late game to physics anyway, because physics has the best repeatable tree. As you know, energy weapons are the best weapons in the game. So yeah, like, I don't know much about ship design, but I can tell you for sure that energy weapons are more important than kinetics, because ships simply have more hull than they have shield, and hull is, of course, the value that energy the weapons do well into. So we generally need more energy weapons, and that is no exception here. We get Zero, why not? And yeah, at this point we can kind of divest, especially now that we have Mega Engineering, from engineering and just prioritize a little bit into physics, and that will help us out quite a bit. And then in the meantime, we can also just fill out these other arcologies. Like, look at how fast your economy blows up after you get just a few once you get your first Ecumenopoly, right? It just all goes hand in hand, and all of a sudden, like, I'm plus 800 consumer goods. I'm not even bothered to do anything about that, right? Like, we have our one Ecumenopolis dedicated to that. I'm throwing away so much output by not doing anything with this, but it's more of a hassle to try to do something with it than it is to just let it overflow, because it just produces so many resources. And the only thing stopping us from making even more is simply the building speed of this planet, right? It is simply not easily viable for us to just build this planet up faster. That is our main restriction right now. And the amount of influence, at least, is looking good as well. So yeah, with that being said, I'm just going to keep upgrading these planets. That's all I'm doing. It's all I'm going to be doing. And I'll be back after we get some more breakthroughs. Also, somewhat obviously, at this point, when you're done your tradition tree, you just go ahead and start ascending planets. I don't really have a particular plan for which planet I want to ascend first. Obviously, some of them, like a tech world designation, doesn't even do that much. It just reduces upkeep and increases lab build speed, and lab build speed is very nice. But it's actually not the most, like, crazy stat, because there's no real need for it at this point, right? Does it increase the district build speed? I actually have no idea. It probably does. Let's take a look. 261 for residential arcology. Let's ascend this a couple times and see what we're working with now. Let's delete it and rebuild it just in case. And nope, still 261. So yeah, I guess it really doesn't do that much. Now, I forgot to check if this changes. 157, upgraded a tier, and 157. So yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm not really sure if the the designation is all that good if it doesn't affect actual districts, because there's more districts to build than there are planets or buildings on each planet in the first place. However, it's still somewhat useful. We finally get a driven educator as well. Um, Obviously, a brilliant shipwright is good at this point in time as well, but we really don't need that much ship build speed. Although we are going to start to slowly convert our core sector into shipyards, as shipyards are a typical limiting factor. We don't really need that many shipyards. As you can see, I'm even overcapped on alloys a bit. I'm literally not bothered to deal with that, as I'm simply going to wait to build a Riddle Escort fleet. Now, the reason I've chosen Riddle Escorts is Riddle Escorts have a relatively inflated fleet number, like fleet numbers in general, right? Like, they are strong ships. Don't get me wrong, they have crazy evasion for a cruiser-sized ship, basically. Or are they even bigger? They're probably a little bit bigger than a cruiser, right? So they give a lot of fleet power per naval cap, and I don't feel like making too much naval capacity. So, like, that's great. Where is the good old Riddle Escort? Yeah. I don't think I have neutrons yet, amazingly. Yeah, so we'll just go with an artillery frame. Gamma lasers, advanced railguns, and maybe like just 2 flak, 2 PD. I don't really know how much of each one of those we should want, and we'll just auto-complete the rest. Chance to hit, tracking. I'm kind of curious, like, which combat computer is best with Riddle Escort? I genuinely have no idea. If I don't know, I usually just go with artillery, just to keep range. But yeah, some of these components don't have the best range. And if we're only hitting with laser from far, that's probably not the most efficient thing in the world. So we might want to go with something that charges in a little bit. So maybe line, to be honest. So yeah, let's just try that, and we just give this a name too. The Nya with 2 A's. As you can tell, my naming convention is never helpful for identifying what ships are supposed to do what. That's just kind of the way we roll. And as you can see, we get the incredibly inflated ship numbers from Riddle Escorts, which is why we use them in the first place. Also a great way to burn a lot of alloys per nav cap, because we have a lot of alloys. Even from just this size 12 planet, once you cover the entire thing, with these like buildings, you actually get a decent amount of jobs just from the buildings alone. So even on a small planet, alloy planets are still decent. Although I still like to make my alloy planets large, just because I think it's kind of fun. I don't know if this needs to be. I think we can just go advisor here. We still want more advisors on our council. Things like architectural sense are always helpful, even in the late game. So yeah, we can get that going. We also have a bunch of tradition picks left, and I definitely think I want to use one of them. Wait, first let's finish our fucking. I just realized. Oops, I just swore. Come on, YouTube algorithm. It's been 2 hours. Don't knock me for that. Anyhow, artifact analysis. Nope. Discover precursor insight. Yeah, there we go. And then let's quickly investigate that, and hopefully we can get our precursor done and finally expose that ring world. Because I could use it, right? Like, I could use the ring world at this point. So let's get those 2 things. We should finally get the particle lance as well. But I've already decided to go with Riddle Escorts, just because of the inflated nav cap, and for basically no other reason. This is going to help us get it's probably going to get us to the top of the galactic community finally, even with no leader. If we've put a good leader in there, I reckon it should probably jump us very close to the top already. Oh yeah, we're already there. So, but we haven't won the game yet, right? And we're still going to try to we haven't even gotten Fallen Empire buildings yet in our tech rolls, because our crisis level has been so bad. But are we not at 6 artifacts yet? Jeez. Let's take a look. Relics. Also, the game is starting to lag. There's a good reason I don't play the game this late, usually. Yeah, oh my god, we have like crazy rare space whales as well. Too bad we're not playing a fauna build. What was I even looking for? Yeah, my ADHD is kicking in hard right now. I just keep forgetting what I was doing before. Oh right, I was checking the situation log. The precursors, the Cybrex, 5 out of 6. Okay, the last one is probably just this, right? So can I? Yeah, research project and system. Just go for the closer one. Mega Shipyard and Science Nexus are fantastic techs as well, and man, do they take a long time at 200,000 tech. But I guess we'll just build the rest of these out, and we'll just cover the rest of this planet just with pure labs, just pure unadulterated labs, and at least these labs should build really fast, right? Yeah, 109 with the Ascension tier we're at. Let's ascend this all the way, and I do want to take Ascensionist as my last perk, or as my as one of the civics that we have, but unfortunately I don't think we'll be able to get it here. So, oh yeah, there goes our last two planets that weren't already Ecumenopolises, so that's nice, I guess. And I guess we'll just cover everything with strongholds, just get every planet maxed out, and we also get the Cybrex home system. So how nice of them to put it behind our Federation base borders, but at least they have open borders. So there's hyperlanes crossing hyperlanes doesn't look right. It really doesn't happen often, to be honest. Like if you just look out into the galaxy, I know my intel is not great, but there's not that many hyperlanes crossing hyperlanes. But this just confused my brain because I don't think I've seen very many hyperlanes that cross other hyperlanes. So this actually is connected to my borders, which is interesting. But even if it wasn't, I could just go through my allies' systems, right? So it's not a big deal, but it just looks so funny to me. I don't like it at all. But yeah, we get the Rude Ring section. We can go ahead and start repairing that up. I don't think we need a Dyson Swarm or Sphere or anything like that. We can get more than that through trade. We could get Existential Expulsion. Before you get this tech, I hate declaring wars where you have to manually claim every system. It's just a bit tedious. And yeah, at this point, we can really start to let our tech go, not creative mode, but get extremely good, which is really nice. And we can, augment our populations with civilians and automation districts, right? Because I believe we'll probably need one. I don't know if you put one here if it affects the main districts, so we'll definitely probably just skip it for now and just fill up everything manually with pops, right? We have enough to do that, so why not? All right, through Architectural Renaissance, we get access to another megastructure here now, which is really, really nice. We can go ahead and build something like this mega shipyard site. Boom. We want to get the Science Nexus as well, but we don't have enough megastructure build slots. So I think, as I mentioned in my Ascension perks tier list video, one of the Ascension perks that I still believe is quite good is, interestingly enough, Master Builders, just because the extra build speed matters quite a bit. Whereas I find you don't need Galactic Wonders anymore, especially with natural megastructures or gigastructures like the Cybrex and the Matter Decompressor and Dyson Sphere simply being outscaled by a singular planet. Let's take a look at this planet for an example. 1,400 minerals with no Fallen Empire buildings. Let's go ahead and replace this with a quantum drilling plant to make even more of a exaggeration, right, of like how broken it is. Like with the amount of districts we're going to have and just a quantum drilling plant, we're already going to be making, like, this is not quite a matter decompressor amount of minerals, but this is a size 11 planet that's only half dedicated to minerals, right? And it's still going to be making plenty. We're going to get a nourishment complex soon for food. And yeah, just planets solve those resources. But the megastructure build speed is not something that's easy to get, and all the other basic megastructures are actually all still very good because they give empire-wide percent bonuses, right? Like the mega shipyard is probably the best. The Science Nexus is like very good still because it gives tech speed. The tech amount is no longer important. The tech speed is still nice. If you're playing tall and you want some very good Ecumenopolis tier planets, that's a ring, but I do think the ring is also power crept by Ecumenopolises because the thing that used to make rings so good is, of course, the humble research district. And the research district is now one of the most widely distributed things. Every single empire gets access to some kind of research district, and you don't have to just spam out all your building slots in tech anymore. In order to eventually get to the coveted ring world, you just kind of start with the benefits of a ring world already under your control, and you can just go with these crazy Cumulonimbus tech planets where you'll just I mean look at these planets. I mean we're not struggling for tech. 14,000 tech is not amazing, but it's not bad, right? And the reason we don't have more tech is simply how unlucky we were on our way to Cumulonimbus and just not playing optimally, of course, because playing optimally is still quite hard. I will always maintain that, but yeah, at this point we're just kind of home free. We're home free. We're finally getting Fallen Empire technologies. We finally have enough for that, and also, I think very. All right, everybody, and welcome back. So this is the next day for me, and I think in today's episode, what am I saying? For the rest of the day, basically, I probably just want to try to finish off this game now, right? Like I think I'm in a great position to do so. Like I've been sitting on overcap resources for a while now because I'm simply too lazy to go spend all of them, and it is also getting a bit difficult to spend all of them, even if I wanted to, if I'm being fully honest here, right? Because, like, yeah, just look at the number of buildings that are waiting to be upgraded, and I guess we just go through and start clicking on all of them, right? Like, yeah, just start getting like, once all these buildings get going, like, we don't even need them, because I think the thing we're waiting on most is probably still tech. Like, we have the Cybrex home system as well, right? Did we ever take that? We did, but I think the megastructure is still being rebuilt here. Or, yeah, I mean, do I really need it? No, because at this point, we're just kind of waiting for tech, right? There's other ways to get crisis points other than through tech, but this is one of the easier ways to do it. And one of the easier ways is also to build a science nexus, right? So I should also be remembering to try to complete my science nexus. Have I even started that? Yeah, I have. So yeah, we're kind of waiting on that, and once that science nexus completes, then we should be looking pretty good on crisis points as well, and also trying to get infinity theses done. I don't know if I get access to the tech yet. I gotta check the crisis for that, so we'll just keep working on these. Okay, I don't think I'll get them until I actually unlock Calamity level 4, which means we're gonna do some cheap tech rolls to probably get this through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking all the 1 month tech rolls that I see that come across in my techs until I get to level 4, and then I'll start researching those advanced infinity theses until I'm ready to fully ascend. And once we reach tier 5 crisis, it's just a matter of building the horizon needle and losing and winning, right? And one of the main reasons I go crisis path in order to win the game, because it is a little cheap, right? All the crises are really OP, but it's simply to avoid the struggle of waiting for the game to end. Because as you can see, we've outscaled all the Grand Admiral AI in terms of Diplo weight now, and in terms of fleet power as well. I mean, these aren't the best fleets. I mean, you could easily have this fleet at, like, I've seen people with, like, I think I saw 600,000 fleet today at year 50, and that's with a whole bunch of rules imposed. So obviously, when really good players play, there's plenty of ways to get more ships than I have just 300,000 at year 30, or year 300, I mean, right? And a lot of these are riddle escorts as well. So, yeah, obviously, there's a lot of room to improve and that kind of thing. But who cares? I mean, we're having a great time anyway. And yeah, I would say don't worry too much. The meta players these days are, I would say, just insanely good at the game. And there's nothing wrong with taking the game a little bit more chill and just enjoying things at your own speed. That's kind of what I've been up to recently. We get jump drives, but instead we're going to take plasma accelerators because it's just a 1 month tech, and we're trying to get those crisis points. So I'll be back once we unlock crisis level 4. Alright, and just like that, we are level 4 crisis, which means we can finally start doing the good techs. So what we're going to do now is we're going to direct all our techs into physics, and we're going to attempt to bend the rules of reality. This will gather us a ton of crisis points, and we're going to try to get this to as low as possible, because this is a 500,000 tech for this thing. It's really expensive. Right, so on my tech planets, we're going to switch over the specializations gradually towards physics research. As you can see, I still have a lot of things queued on most of my planets, but they're not all maxed out for physics. So yeah, we're going to start working on that. Turning them all into maxed out physics planets should help us quite a bit. In case we have empty jobs like this, we're going to upgrade the automation zone as well. Definitely should have been watching that earlier, as that probably would have provided a decent amount more pops than we have, or a little bit more efficiency, and we have a lot of civilians everywhere, but it is really hard to micro all your pops properly this late into the game. Also, yeah, I think this ring world will definitely come in a bit too late to really do anything too useful, but it is nice to eventually have that done as well. So we're going to continue to work on that. And finally, we start to get the really broken buildings like the Revitalization Institute, and we no longer have to get most of our crisis points from techs, so we can go ahead and take the best techs we see and the ones we want the most instead of the ones that are just going to be done the fastest. So yeah, time to take the really good Fallen Empire technologies, although sadly most of these are not going to come into any use before the game ends this late into the game. Yeah, at this point, you're basically playing. If you're playing in a game after you start to get Fallen Empire techs, you're in it for the love of the game at that point, because the scaling is done. And oh, what happened? Oh, our leader fell off, I guess. Yeah, you could see how much the leader is worth. Crazy an amount actually. I'm missing Minister of State as well, so that's minus 25%. I'm kind of curious. The AIs prioritize Ministers of State? I guess they do. But yeah, also. Yeah, the military power, at least at this point. I feel like most of these should be pretty pathetic. Yeah, the AIs, unfortunately, still... Ooh, this one has equivalent. Planet Scrapers, Police State, Memorialists. Aha, the game accidentally gave them a great choice there, and then they did something pretty good out of it, Even though they're going to have really bad ship designs at this point, right? Like, the fact that they're still equivalent in fleet power is pretty impressive, considering there is 400k ships there. I guess we could always train more if we need. Yeah, I mean, the alloy situation here is pretty healthy, right? Pretty comfortable. Although only plus 2k is, of course, not the best at this point in the game as well. I say as well a lot. I'm like an AI. I just repeat the same words over and over again. Are these planets even full? Yeah, it looks like some of them, even with the maxed out automation zone, aren't even full yet. So I guess we could still use more pops. Right, but I mean, it's not too important. We're just gonna go ahead and keep doing these rules of reality. I guess we also need to research the actual crisis as well. But let's take a minute and see. Yeah, the progress looks pretty fast, right? Every single applied infinities thesis is 7,500 points, and we probably need I don't even remember the number for level 5 crisis, to be honest. 4,500 logic points in total. So I'll just be back when that's done. Alright, after burning my computer up by playing on fastest for a little bit, I think we're basically done now. At this point, all we need to do is get the last tier and build the crisis needle, I believe. Oh, we got some intense heat, which is funny. So yeah, we're going to get some devastation here as we've warped the physics a little bit too much. We're not quite here yet, apparently. Oh, we're 1,500 advanced logic shy. What a tease of an amount. I think that's still enough so that another bend to the rules of reality will indeed be the fastest way to finishing it. So let's just go ahead and fast forward through that. Alright, something pretty funny has happened is I wasn't paying attention and my neighbors here have been murdered. Or they have disappeared somehow. I'm not even sure how. Wasn't paying attention as I said before, which means we no longer have a source of energy credits. Which means we need to acquire a new source of energy credits unless we want to go bankrupt. So I guess Alpha Centauri B, you can be built into an energy planet. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. What we can do is for now just move a couple of these guys over to generator districts. And I know it's not going to make the biggest difference. I don't think we have any other source of basic energy throughout our empire besides just buying it. But luckily, we have enough trade so that we can raw dog buy an absolutely insane amount of energy from the Galcom. And I haven't even been managing this planet and putting galactic commerce hubs and getting the base trade increases from it. So I can do that as well, giving ourselves a bit of extra trade. And we can use that to buy even more energy to keep that just about neutral for long enough for us to get this crisis done. And yeah, we're definitely getting some wonky physics effects as well. By the way, take a look at the devastation on my planet, 76%. If you were wondering why my tech went down to 12k, this is why. And this is also why you wouldn't normally want to do so many of these funny physics techs, as they can have some negative events. I don't know if one of them that happened to me before, which is it can just destroy your Ecumenopolis, reset it back to a regular planet. That's happened to me before as well. I don't know if that's a possibility there, so who knows. Hopefully that doesn't happen to us here. And this should finish up any moment soon, right? 6 months left. Okay, nice. And finally, level 5 crisis. I think this means we should have the Horizon Needle somewhere here. Yeah, okay, there we go. So it's 36 months later, we're going to have this. Another big physics tech, which is why I'm so min-maxed into physics now. So we'll just go ahead and fast forward through that as well. And we're getting into an energy credit crisis here. I think the best thing to do is simply to go to a trade policy of wealth creation. And this means we're going to go insanely negative on consumer goods until we can either get a trade fed with somebody else, which is really unlikely, or use one of these planets somewhere to make a trade fed with ourselves. We're obviously not going to be able to build an energy planet up fast enough. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. All we really have around us are barren worlds, so I guess we could trade fed with one of our outer planets. I forget what this planet is. Oh, that's a world I can't really delete, huh? Is there any other outer system planets that we could probably make a trade fed out of? I guess this one here, this is probably a tech world. No, it's an alloy world. Can we go without an alloy world? Ah, whatever. We have like many months of consumer goods before we run out, and luckily consumer goods are easily makeable. So yeah, we can just take one of these districts. We don't need to make a crazy amount of alloys, right? And then we can convert this into a civilian industry, and we can also, oh, we already stopped buying it, and yeah, this way we just have to build a few civilian focused buildings to make these not crazy inefficient. Do I already have them? No, it's because I don't have a single civilian zone, right? So we're going to have to build it on here, get rid of some of the plants, and that should cover our consumer goods and let us build our Horizon Needle in peace, which I think we're still working on the tech, which has slowed down a lot thanks to our devastation and running out of buffered tech. And all we have to do now is find somewhere to build the Horizon Needle. I don't remember the exact conditions for this, so build around any stellar body in the system, and we need 1,000 dark matter. Shouldn't be too hard. 1,000 dark matter acquired. Or is it 10,000? If it's 10,000, we might have to click that button a few more times. Oh no, it's just 1,000. So now we just need to find a location to build it. 50,000 alloys, we have that. Not too much of a worry there. Cannot build around any stellar body. Let's see. What does this need to be built around? I forget. Alright, after a bit too long, mostly AFK, we are finally back, and our Horizon Needle is ready to go. So, I don't know if it automatically collects every pop, or I have to do something with it, so let me just go ahead and take a look if we have any obvious looking situations going on. Exodus. Okay, to embark our entire civilization on the Horizon Needle, we must visit every colony we own and embark the population, return to our capital to embark the rest of our people, and okay. So, I remember I did this with virtual before, and that was fantastic, because I just shut down every server except for my capital. This is definitely going to be a little bit tougher, having to go to all of our colonies manually. At least we did happen to get jump drives, so I guess just start from one side and gradually go through and embark everybody onto the thing. I'm not exactly sure where the button for embarking everyone is. There we go. Is it instant, or does it take some time? I'm kind of curious. It looks like it's pretty fast, but it does take some time. So we're going to go ahead and go through every single colony and just start embarking, and then we'll be back after that is done. A quick realization I've had is I can actually speed this up by manually resettling pops to my capital as well, whilst having my thing go along with, I've just like used shift to queue a bunch of planets to embark, and then in the meantime I can manually destroy colonies like this, just speeding up the process just a little bit, especially since we have nearly unlimited, yeah, when a planet with like 16,000, I'm not clicking that 160 times, so for a planet like that, we're going to fly our Horizon Needle over and manually embark, and for the other colonies, like, yeah, 23,000, I'm not going to manually do that. So, yeah, just speed it up a little bit. All right, and last but not least, we are embarking our Earth, our capital, our homeworld. As you can see, our economy is basically collapsed, and we're just running on storages at this point. But once this is done, we can go ahead and basically just trigger the end screen, and then call that a game. So yeah, it took 130 years, which is definitely longer than I'm used to, but still not that long. I have no idea which of these options to click, actually. We must reach the center. I don't know what that does. That sounds dramatic. Uh, so let's click that button. And I don't actually know what happens now. Do we have to fight somebody off with no planets? I don't know. But why is there 1.3 thousand pops left here, too? Is the Horizon Needle? Hello? Maybe I should have clicked the other option. What are you doing? Okay, let me look up what I should be doing. Hidden amongst the hard to see stuff, there's a special project here on our capital where we calculate the jump vector. And then I guess we just go ahead and start time now, and we're about to jump out of here, even though we have negative 8,000 energy credits. Definitely a bit of a struggle there. However, I don't know how long will this take to jump. We're losing some move speed due to lack of energy credits, but let's see how long. Oh, it's not too slow. I don't think we'll go bankrupt by then. Yeah, I don't think it's the scientific investment that's making our empire bankrupt here. I guess we can just delete some fleets if it looks like we're about to go bankrupt. I don't know if we lose the needle if we go bankrupt, right? So I probably want to avoid that. And in order to do that, I think we just have to delete all the fleets. Because yeah, it's just eating all the economy. And yeah, I don't know how we are expected to have an economy with no population at all, but you know, this should solve most of that issue, and then we can hopefully get away with selling some of our residual resources. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now we're vastly positive. And we should be fine. And as long as we don't get decked into oblivion, we have one fleet left too, right? So I should actually send that to our capital just in case. Just in case we do get attacked or something. I don't think any of the AIs have jump drives and would know to use them, which means we're pretty safe to just let that go through at this point. Yeah, it's definitely taken a while to calculate the jump vector. Might have wanted to do this before you filled up your entire thing with pops. But I guess we're doing that now, so I'll be back when that's done. And ad infinitum, is that it? Galactic Station moved, okay. To the yonder side of infinity, and that's it. We win the game. Okay. So that's United Nations of Earth. There we go. If you'd like me to try this with other builds, please let me know. If you think using crisis paths to win is too cheap as well, no worries. I'm perfectly happy to try other ascensions and non-crisis ways to win the game, right? Because it's a bit harder, although I will be moving the dates up in that case because I'm not waiting to 2500. I'm not playing a game out to 2500. It would take probably 10 hours on fastest, even on like a very fast computer like I have myself, unless I want to play on like a size 200 Galaxy, which can feel a little cramped, and with only a few empires in there, feels less like a galaxy and more like a little community or something. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I did enjoy filming this, and as of right now, the new DLC has actually come out, so I haven't like checked that out too much, and from what I can tell, it's not a really meta-focused DLC. It's more of a storytelling and roleplay focused kind of thing, and there's a few cool civics and a few cool traits now in the game, but I don't think anything is as game-changing as the psionics or the 4.0 Biomorphosis patch in general. But if you'd like to see content on that, please let me know. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.